silence was never an option.
Okie dokie, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The James Well Radio Show is now on the air. So here we are. It's another week, another dollar, another week, another pound, another week, another 50p. If we get any less value for our money, it'll be another week, nothing. That's what it'll be. A very good evening to you. Wet and windy where I am, but that's just what I was eating over the weekend. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Feel like a DJ. So anyway, very good evening. This is the James Well Radio Show that you can find now Mondays and Tuesdays from 8 o'clock on your local PC, laptop, anything. Here we are online from Playradio UK. Welcome to all our listeners everywhere around the world. So wherever you are in the world, the universe, this is a talk show. Until we get bored, then we play music. And because it's on the internet, sometimes I get disruptive and disruly, but today I'll try not to. So, anyway, here we are. This is the theme music that goes with the James Well Radio Show. Fabulous Junkie Chase from, of course, the legendary...
PlayTwoUK.
What?
Headlines.
Oh, shush. Curtis Mayfield. I don't know. Why did that happen, Matt?
No idea.
No idea, Matt. Okay, Matt's producing. Matt's a technical genius. You may be interested to know that Matt is a technical genius employed by this company... because he is so fast and so quick with his fingers. He's made many a young person happy. Matt himself, of course, barely out of college, out of university. And apparently nobody does it better than Matt. Interesting. I forgot what I was talking about now. So, listen, this is the James Well Radio Show. The theme, I only tell you because lots of people come on and say, oh, that's nice. I like that bit of music. Who is it? Well, it's Curtis Mayfield, and it's been with me. My old producer, Mr. Ash, found it for me. I don't know, 13 years ago. That's been my theme tune, and I do love it. So anyway, here we are tonight and Tuesday, on air, online. And if you want to join us, then all you've got to do is ring this number, 01243 55 60 60. Write it down. So why don't I write it down, and then I'll remember it as well. 0142... No, I have done it wrong again, you see. I spent the weekend in Yorkshire. And that's 01423. 012... Okay, 43. So ring it on 01243 55 60 60. Right, put it down. Won't forget it again. You can also Skype us if you are technically minded and you have a Skype telephone. You can do that by Skyping play.radio.uk. Or on internet radio, we find the most common way to get in touch is to email, because, of course, people are sitting usually... if you yet haven't succumbed to the glories of Wi-Fi radio, and if you haven't, why not? Because... Wi-Fi radio is fabulous. Get yourself a Wi-Fi radio. You can get Wi-Fi radios that incorporate FM, DAB as well now. And you can get them in your shops. Pop into the shop and buy a Wi-Fi radio, and you can listen to the programme on radio. But if you're listening, like I think the most at the moment, on your computer, nice to have you with us. You want to send me an email, tell me what you think we should be talking about. Tell me something interesting. You can do that by emailing me this way, studio@playradiouk.com. studio@playradiouk.com. What?
Hopefully I've sorted those technical issues out now.
Really? You see, Matt, call me old-fashioned, if you will.
Old-fashioned?
Gosh, what's wrong? What do you smell of?
Well,
Carbolic.
What do I smell of?
Well, it's disinfectant. No, it's sort of disinfectant. Is it disinfectant? It smells like disinfectant.
No, it should be...
Sort of. Are you using a disinfectant for something?
Maybe.
Lice, something like that?
No, I should smell all fragrant of the day.
Oh, really? It's a very strange smell.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's like that. Well, you know where you put that stuff on when you've got a cut. Your mum used to put it on, used to sting. No, not Savlon. No, the what was that? The liquid. Your mum used to rub on your knee when you graze your... Ooh.
Oh, it's like a bromine sort of thing, wasn't it? A brown liquid.
Yeah, bromine?
Is it bromine?
Do you mean bromide?
Bromide.
That's what you put in tea to stop you getting excited in the nether regions.
Oh, sort of in the army, isn't it?
Yeah. No, what was that yellow liquid that
I know what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the name escapes me.
It escapes me too, anyway. Ah, never mind. Right. So anyway, listen, thank you very much indeed for joining us. That's basically what I was saying. We're all knackered as well, because I'm up to Yorkshire at the weekend. Came back down here today. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you can start there.
Yeah, an old man shouldn't have to behave like this. Do you know, my life has been turned upside down over the past few months. Right, a couple of emails, first of all. Justin Brett said, James, you had a guest on your show last Monday who talked about the environment. He came on your show with what seemed to be a very bad attitude towards you and your interview. Oh, thank you. That was that Pillock from...
From the Climate Change Organisation.
That's right. Pillock from Climate Change Organisation. Did you see the climate camp? I'll do it again. The climate camp protesters in Kent today. These people so concerned about the environment that they start fighting with the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it with these sort of people? Why can't the days of intelligent demonstration seem to have disappeared? Mind you, I'm quite frankly, I think the police's attitude is pretty disgusting as well in all sort of in all ways at the moment. Do you want to talk about the Barry George case? Anybody? By the way, let me just say before I read this, Barry George. I said 9 years ago on the radio. Look at this. If you looked at the evidence and if you saw the very, very iffy evidence that he might have been involved. Barry George, bless him, a man who probably is not one of life's. It's not really on the ball. I mean, he's not. I don't want to be really. It seems straight up. I'm sorry. I meet lots of people like that, and
Haddock.
what? A haddock.
Alan Caddick.
I would like to disassociate myself from those very, very shameful views expressed by my producer. Have nothing to do with me. But there are lots of people who perhaps are easy prey. And I think the police were. It was appalling that this man was. Everybody said at the time. I remember interviewing experts, and I don't want to be too graphic, but. Killing somebody, shooting somebody, it isn't. People. You've got to be very cold, very calm, very organised to do it and get away like that.
You have, yeah.
And not somebody who's not sort of,
spur of the moment sort of thing.
Yeah. Anyway, and it looks like the police are... we haven't got any leads. We don't know. We're not doing anything. I think it's disgusting. Anyway, sorry about that. Let's go back to this. Sorry, Justin. He came onto your show with what seemed very bad attitude to you in your interview. Despite you giving him the airtime to express the organisation he represents, from the first question you asked, what are you going to do about climate change? He replied, well, I'm not going to do anything personally, but... Surely the aim of these groups, rightly or wrongly, is to try to convince everybody to make a difference for any organisation to be taken seriously. Maybe they should have people who speak for them who actually can have a conversation. Justin. In Bradford. I was in Bradford at the weekend, Justin. Near Keighley, actually. Went through Bradford.
Keighley
in Yorkshire. There we are. I was on that Sunday Life programme. And it was fun. That girl who presents the programme, what's her name?
I've never seen it.
Minchkin. Louise Minchkin.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a strange name.
No, she's cute. Louise Minchkin, yeah. Very tall.
Really?
Yeah, kept fiddling with her cleavage.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, listen, you're right about that, but these climate groups, you see, think they're important, think they're special at the moment. They have no idea that climate change is a natural phenomenon. Of course, as soon as you say, like I do to people, this is a natural, what are you going to do? How are you going to... Listen, do you really think stopping the car and the plane and everything else are going to make a change? Of course it's not. The climate is not going to be... The climate is going to change the way the climate wants to change, and you and I can't do anything about it. I suggest the politicians I'll forget them for a moment. We'll come to them later. What else is I going to talk about today? There's loads of things I wanted to talk about today. Oh, yeah, now, you know this bollocks about recycling? This has got nothing to do with climate change, by the way. This is the fact that the EU are fining local councils if they don't stop producing as much rubbish as they are. And I quite agree with this, actually. I think probably they're right, because we can't keep filling holes up in the ground ad infinitum. And there aren't enough holes. What we can do is burn it in incinerators that actually then turn it into power. And that's what we should be doing, in my view. But councils are staffed in the main by fairly thick, stupid people. And now apparently they're going to fine us if we don't have, you know those green boxes they give you to recycle stuff? I don't use mine. It's in the garden with pot plants on it. But apparently if you don't put your green box out on the right day at the right time, they're going to fine you. I tell you, there is going to be a revolution, and it won't be bloodless if they carry on doing things like this to us. What the flipping heck do they think they're doing? If I don't want to put a green box out with recycling stuff in it, I bloody well won't put it out. And there's no poxy little councillor who's going to come knocking on my door or sending me... If you send me any kind of threatening letters, I'm going to come and shove it down the throat of the chief executive of the local council where I live. I'm fed up with it. I don't want to be told what to do. I have lived long enough to make up my own flipping decisions. So if you happen to be the chief executive of a local authority, beware. Be very aware. All right? The people of this country are pissed off about their politicians, local and national. You're a disgrace, most of you, because you can't make a decent decision and stick to it. If I want to recycle, I will recycle. If I don't want to recycle, I won't. I will get rid of the rubbish in the way I see fit. It's about time we had bin men reinstated the way they used to be. All these new... Have you noticed how scruffy bin men are? How they kick your wheelie bin around? I don't like wheelie bins, and I think we should have metal bins back, and I think the guys should have to lift them up on their shoulders and tip them in like they used to.
Earn their money.
Earn their money. You know, if it's not in the right pile, we don't pick it up, love. Risk assessment. Is there a risk assessment round here, by the way?
What, at this office?
Yeah. You must have.
Yeah, well, I presume
When
so,
I did
yeah.
this programme for the BBC at the weekend, they sent me a 3-page document of risk assessment.
Wow.
Be aware of cables on the floor. Don't bump into bits of the scenery. Careful when going up the stairs.
That's the BBC for you, though.
Don't get a piece of croissant stuck in your throat. You must... Apparently everybody has to do this. Risk assessment. Okay, so anyway, there we are. Those some of the stories. I'm really fed up with this new, and you might have seen it in the papers today, this whole business of telling us again what we must and mustn't do. This is this is just because the people who go into local government, unfortunately, do not seem to be up to the job. Pretty much like those who are in national government. I mean, has any good... What about this idea of having the next cabinet meeting outside Parliament? What for? Can anybody tell me why this should be done? Can anybody tell me why there should be a cabinet meeting outside the House of Commons? It means we're going to have to pay more. Why should we do this? Okay, right, I started last week's show sort of refusing to say what I thought we should talk about today, but I thought today I would do it the other way around. Now, we got Dr. Lawrence on today or not?
TCP.
TCP! You're on the bloody thing, it's not you! No, you're on there, you're talking to the viewers, listeners, loggers.
Chris D has emailed in TCP.
Chris D. No virus found in this incoming message, I should bloody well hope not. Why do they always put that on emails now?
Because the email is automatically scanned by your virus software to make sure it's not any virus. So they confirm.
Okay, listen. This studio, is it you? What's your boy's name? I've forgotten.
Ross.
Ross. Why have you got a boy tonight?
Ross is shadowing me because when I'm on holiday, he'll be taking over.
He's 12 and a half.
Well, we start them young these days. It's cheap.
Really?
Yes.
You're getting paid from his school. Getting paid anything, Ross? Nothing. That's nearly as much as he's getting paid. Right, okay, so, does your mother not know about you and Ross?
Not yet.
No, she doesn't now. Here, look at this at home. Look at the two of them. Look, here. He's got his little boy in the corner. Look. Isn't that appalling? That is just appalling. Never mind. Oh, you couldn't see that at home? Oh, well, let me tell you, if you go to www, all the W's, nttbs.com, click on watch. There it is. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can find it for you. Oh, hold on. No, hang on. Oh, if you're looking, I don't need to do that, do I? You'll be seeing it already. What a ridiculous, I'm holding it to the camera. You can see the real time on the, we've got a number of webcams on this program. A couple of them you can see when you go and they just refresh every, 5 minutes, is it? Or 2 minutes, or?
The ones in the studio refresh every 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Yeah, but on nttbs.com, it's like watching you on bid TV, but without the selling.
Yeah.
And you have a call.
Okay. All right, well, let's take a call before we do anything else. The James Whale Radio Show, you're on the air. Hello.
Excuse me. Now, usually I disagree with you, but you make a fine point this evening. Even though I don't think you'll follow it through, can I ask you a question? Do you own a TV license?
Personally?
Personally?
I don't.
All right. In any company, for your business purposes, though, do you own a TV license?
Oh, that I can't answer.
Ah. Well, in that case, you do.
I personally do not.
All right. Let me rephrase the question. For any TVs that are in your possession, whether it's for business or pleasure, are you legally licensed?
As far as I know, caller, I don't actually have to be legally licensed.
My name is Eduardo, by the way.
No, I killed him off last week. I don't. There is no caller called that name again.
Yes, my name is Caller.
Yes, caller. That's it. Caller. As I understand it,
yes.
You, as long as the premises is licensed for the said TV receiver, you're covered.
Right.
Now, if the premises that I watch television on isn't covered by a license, then I'm not aware of it. I would only, of course, advocate that you ever watched, at this moment in time, something with a license, because it would be illegal to do otherwise.
But I'm just concerned...
Don't be.
...that you're going to force us all to chuck away our green boxes
yeah.
and then not come to our court hearings while you're putting your recycled yogurt tins in yours.
I didn't say that you should throw away your green boxes. I personally have found them very useful for putting my pot plants on in the garden. I have.
I think your words are, I'm going to take the box down to the council and ram it down the throat of the chief executive.
No,
if that's not inciting me to riot, I don't know what is.
No. I'm not suggesting you did. I said if I get a threatening, rude letter from the local council, I shall take the letter down there.
I'll tell you what, I don't always agree with you. And I think that you're right. The revolution is coming, Wadey. And it's not going to be a bloodless one. I'll be at the front there with my pitchfork, like whatever his name was.
Certainly won't be there with his guitar.
Because I just found out that one of my cars is going to be taxed an extra £45 next year.
Oh, that must be one of the nice cars then.
No.
Surely you could sell it to help get through your bad period.
This is Caller. In case you caller.
No,
this is Caller. No, you wouldn't know the caller.
No.
Oh, so Caller, listen, let me just say that I think the government are going to backpedal on this. There seems to be a little consternation. Oh, that's not the right word. In the ranks.
In the wanks?
In the ranks, not the wanks. In the ranks.
Oh, I thought you were suggesting something.
No, and there
coming
seems...
on to me there, James.
I wouldn't come on to you, Caller, if you were the last person on earth. I would rather self-abuse.
I don't know, mate.
Anyway, listen. There's no doubt in my mind...
I've got what you call a fat arse, P-H-A-T, like them big African women you see on the internet.
You are do you know, sometimes there are things about you that I really find despicable. I happen to be a fan of the Fat-Bottomed Girl. Okay, beautiful song by Queen. Some areas of the world more prone to that big ass.
They make the rocking world go round.
And they make the rocking world go round. And do you think I used to have that as a jingle, which I used to like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like a smooth?
Yes, thank you. And the James Orr Radio Show. You're on the air. Hello. Who's that?
Is that James?
I beg your pardon?
Is that James?
This is James. Yeah.
Oh, it's Malcolm from Airfield. I'm having trouble. I can't get onto the site to listen to you.
You can't get onto the site.
No, I'm having trouble with the streaming.
So just go to nttbs.com and click watch.
Go to NTTBS, click watch.
Yeah, okay. So the normal one, it just doesn't work.
Which one?
On the Playradio 2.
Playradio 2. You can't get us on Playradio 2. Have you tried
No, I've updated my Java and everything.
You've what?
I've updated my JavaScript because it said that was no good.
You've up thing your JavaScript, have you? Okay, right. Well,
I'm losing you here. I know you're not technical.
Go to nttbs.com, Malcolm.
Yeah.
So close down the player for Play Radio and type in www.nttbs.com.
Not the What's It show. Yeah, I know that one's on top of me. I even tried straight with Winamp, but that still won't let the URL go. It says it can't sync to your stream.
Okay. Well, I know you can still access it through iTunes and stuff this evening, but go to nttbs.com and click watch, and you'll have your show there.
All right, nice one.
all right.
Nice to speak to you anyway, James.
Take it easy.
Will do.
Bye.
Yeah.
You could go to my website, get it there as well, at jameswellradio.com. Let's talk to Fat Steve. It's a good show. Shit.
Good friend of the show.
There's a good friend of the show, Fat Steve from Minneapolis. Atlanta, that's it. Yeah, I knew it was some flipping American. I'm doing a TV show on Wednesday. I don't know when it'll be shown. I'm recording it on Wednesday. And hi, Steve. Welcome. It's called "Can America? Is America going through a midlife crisis? Or what can it do about its midlife crisis?" I don't think it can do anything, quite frankly.
Well, I think I've heard it once said about America that it's one of those countries that's gone from primitivism to barbarism without the actual civilization.
Oh dear. Well, actually, looking at your looking at your fashion at the moment, Steve, I must admit, he's like a big photograph of him there. It's quite nice, actually, Steve. Very nice knees, may I say?
Thank you.
Very nice knees. I mentioned last week, I'm sure, that this habit the Americans have of always wearing a baseball cap.
Yes, and I've mentioned last week that my hair looks like shit.
Well, let us be the judge of that. Why shouldn't we decide on that? You know, I like to think it goes back to the days of the Stetson.
Aha.
Don't you think?
The 10-gallon hat?
Yeah, I love those hats. I've got a couple. I've
got one.
You got one? Good. Well, everybody... I wear mine, but I'd like one of the Davy Crockett hats. You know I'd like a beaver on my head.
I'd like one on certain part of my body, but I don't know. But my head is what I'm thinking of.
And back to the fat bottom girls make the rocking world go round.
It was funny how Boris Johnson came out endorsing Obama.
Well, they're all endorsing everybody at the moment. Look, is that just stay there, Steve? I see John Hammond. I used to know somebody called John Hammond. I wonder if it's my mate.
It could well be. He's just said hello, so I'll see if I can get him to Skype us in a bit.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Steve, are you there?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I lost your picture.
Is that John Hammond from Columbia Records?
Oh, it might be. I don't know if it is. Should we see if he wants to do a little deal?
Actually, he may be dead by now.
Oh, okay. Let's not go to that. Let's try and cheer people up. Okay, so here we go. A couple of days to go before the Olympic Games. Are you getting excited, Steve?
Oh, so excited.
Yeah, me too.
Where are they?
I don't know. Oh, China, mate. China. Yes, China.
Beijing.
Yeah, well, all over China, aren't they? Not just there's some horse racing is in Hong Kong. And the Chinese are going to try and con the whole world into thinking that they are really nice people, and they're not likely to blow us out of the water.
And they don't eat dog.
And they don't eat dogs, yeah.
They put a ban on that for the Olympic period, I understand.
I should hope so. I should hope so.
The Swiss eat dogs.
The Swiss eat dogs? They do not.
Yeah,
well,
they do.
I have to say that, there are many cultures who will eat almost anything. And, of course, certain people in the world saw it fit to eat themselves, or members of the human race.
Yeah, those guys in the plane crash.
I was talking to somebody. I did a program on the things we eat once, and talking about eating dogs. And this other guy came on and said, well, what about how on earth can you eat lambs? You know, those lovely things you got in children's, fairy stories, and kids always have little lambs gambling around on the wallpaper in nurseries and things like that. And you eat them with mint sauce.
So yummy.
And I thought he had a point, really, didn't he? I mean, I don't know why I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm not. But the thing I have against people who eat animals is the way animals are kept. And the way, I think anybody who goes out to eat cheap meat, i.e. chicken, because the way chicken is grown to feed people, it's disgusting. And the idea that an animal can be treated as appallingly as you like just because you're going to eat it disgusts me.
Well, yeah, there are people out here who eat all their food wild.
In America?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's because you've never learned to eat with knives and forks.
Yeah.
That's because you use a fork. You know, you cut the meat. The next stage.
Yeah, that's how they get their women too.
The next stage, Stevie, is going to be that the Americans are going to have to employ people to feed them.
Although, that's sort of aristocracy almost.
You haven't got any aristocracy.
I know, we're upwardly mobile.
What you need is a queen or a king. Well, you've got a lot of queens. What you need is a king. Listen, Steve, we've got to go and take some commercials. Talk soon.
Okay, have fun. Bye.
Nice to talk with you. Bye-bye. Right, if you want to join us, the number, of course, I told you before. Don't forget it. Write it down and give me a ring if you want. 01243 55 60 60. 01243 55 60 60. You can email me studio@playradiouk.com.
Parents give lots of reasons why they keep smoking when they have a newborn baby.
It's just so stressful, what with the crying and the lack of sleep and everything.
Well, my parents smoked when I was a baby, and I'm all right.
But there are lots more reasons why you should stop. Because smoking around your baby doubles the chance of them dying from cot death. That's why the NHS offers free support to new mothers and their partners who want to quit smoking.
We're so glad we quit, for her sake.
Yeah, it's been good for us too.
For help and support to go smoke-free, call the NHS Pregnancy Smoking Helpline on 0800 169 9169 or visit www.nhs.uk/go-smoke-free.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play2UK with Blackadder Whiskies for discerning drinkers the world over. Visit us at PlayRadioUK.com and discover the pure spirit of legend.
Okay, I'll do that. What happened there? Is that why it's not working?
No.
Should I press something? No. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's cool,
Good.
yeah.
I'll just have a quick sip of my Blackadder, because they're sponsoring the show at the moment. Oh, that's so good. You can't afford it out there, of course, but I can.
I can't.
No, you can't either. Blackadder, for the discerning whiskey drinker. Right, now listen, there are some people having a little problem with gaining access to listen to the show tonight.
That's right, yeah.
A little technical hitch. So you can do it this way.
You can go to www.playradiouk.com/listen and scroll down to the bottom.
Sorry, what was that?
Go to playradiouk.com/listen.
Hang on, slow down. Playradiouk.com.
Yep.
Right.
/listen.
Listen, all right, don't take the piss. /listen.
and then scroll down to the bottom, and there'll be options for you to listen. It's just the little pop-up player on the website, there seems to be a small problem with that right now.
Really? Dear, oh dear. Go to my website, jameswellradio.com, you can hear it straight on there. Although if you're having a problem there, it might be difficult, I don't know. No, it should be all right.
Well, we've got a guy in the office right now working on fixing it, so...
Have you?
Yeah.
Excellent, good. Okay, well, of those of you who are able to listen, great. Let's do a few emails. See what's happening out there today. Dino, who's always on, says, I'm not sure if you are aware, but a concert against the impending war against Iran is scheduled to take place in October in Austin, Texas, in the USA. What impending war against Iran? What are you doing there with that somewhere? The impending war against... This is ridiculous. There is no, surely, impending war against Iran. I mean, Iran is strange, some may say, because it's a religious-based society, but only a few. I happen to know quite a lot of Iranians, and they're not interested in religion the same way I'm not. Unfortunately, they've got a government who is, but then they'll have to sort that out themselves. And the fact Iran thinks it should be entitled to have nuclear power, as far as I can see, why shouldn't they? We've got nuclear power, why shouldn't we have nuclear... We've got nuclear power. How can we turn around to somebody else and say, you can't have nuclear power? I don't understand this. If anybody can... put a little whistle on the microphone now, haven't we? That's not working, is it? No, I'll turn that off. Right. I like my headphones loud. I don't mind turn my headphones down. They don't normally whistle, do they? Look at that. That's bad, isn't it? Why is that happening, I wonder? I know it's feedback, dear. I know it's feedback. I always have them that loud, but never mind. Okay. Right, so the impending war against Iran, apparently there is going to be a concert in Austin, Texas, headlined by Willie Nelson. Great. He recently appeared as a guest on the Alex Jones radio talk show, where the concept was instigated in response to a caller from Arizona who mentioned Willie's Live Aid and Farm Aid concert. Nelson indicated he would be interested in volunteering to participate in an anti-war and impeachment concert event. He feels such an event would give the people a venue and a chance to stand up against the government. I'm not sure why they call it Willie Stock. Nor am I. But, of course, this is being organised because Austin, Texas is the home of Alex Jones. Alex Jones, who we're hoping... I was hoping he was coming on tomorrow. I think it's now going to be next week. Listen, Alex has been on the show before. We've done link-ups with Alex before. He's quite a hard man to pin down. We will have him back on the show. I can assure you that. Hopefully it will take place before any escalation takes part in that region. Of course, whether or not the American public will participate in such an event is another thing. And good luck with your stint on some other radio stations, I hear. Well, I'm getting myself about, it's summertime. I'm available now, aren't I? I've got no real job. I'm available to do fill-ins here, there, and everywhere. Got my show here on a Monday and a Tuesday at Playradio, and what else? Why have I got an email here with no virus found? Can you see that? You're bringing me hundreds of emails in again. So somebody somewhere's listening, obviously.
Oh, yeah, there's plenty listening. Don't worry about that.
All right, okay. You want to watch the show as well, www.n, not T, tits, T, tummy, B, bollocks, S, for sugar.com. Click on watch. All right? Okay. James watched you on BBC One yesterday morning, looking very dapper. Have just finished listening to last Tuesday's podcast. You... yes, I'm going to stay here. I have strong feeling they will... I don't think so. I can't read that out anyway. David Longbottom in Buxton. Is that embarrassing, David, to be a Longbottom in Buxton? I don't know.
It's not a fat bottom, really, is it?
No, I suppose not. But anyway, really good. This is such a good format. Re-Skype, etc. We'll try and Skype you later. Good. Well, listen, David, make sure you Skype me. You know how to Skype me? Skype me at play.radio.uk. Okay? Right. We've got Mr. Hammond there. Is it?
No, he says, I've got a pal on local radio. Do you think James would ring the show and wind him up? He's on the air now.
No.
And I said, well, I'll ask him, but there might be a problem with Ofcom their end with that. And he said, no, it's all right. He'll record it and play it at a later date.
No. I don't, lots of people have done that. It's a bit boring and a bit obvious. I did that when I was 12 and a half years old. Why would I want to ring up somebody else on another radio show and wind them up? That's a childish thing to do.
Wind-ups can sometimes be quite funny if it's done in the right way.
Not
But
like
he says pre-record it and play it at a later date. In that case, he would know it was a wind-up. So, slightly confused.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah.
So just to clarify, it's not next week you're away, it's the week after.
The week after I'm away because I'm working somewhere else for a week, and Ian Lee... Oh, can I mention that?
Yeah.
Ian Lee will be here one night, and Tommy Boyd will be here another night. So, you know, we move around.
Yep.
We shift about. It's a multimedia world in which we live. The only problem is Matt wants to know if he's coming with me. I said, well, it depends how the tea and the coffee situation improve during this week and next week. I was supposed to be doing the show this week from home, wasn't
I? Next week?
Am I? Does that mean I've got to invite you to my house?
I'm going to have to come and meet Mrs. Whale, aren't I?
I'm not sure about that.
I don't think she'll be Mrs. Whale for long once she's meeting me.
She's not interested in anything she could give birth to. Right, okay. All right, okay. Let's get on. Let's take a couple of calls. If you want to join me, you know the number. Ring me now. 01243 55 60 60. 01243 55 60 60. I've got a loose connection with these bloody headphones. Mind you, Matt has the same headphones as me.
I've got a loose connection.
Have you?
Well, yeah.
Can you do anything about them or not? Yeah, sometime.
Yeah. Have a look at them after the show.
Because this is the second pair. I just threw them away.
I told you this last
week. I know.
It's a £125 pair of headphones with a lifetime guarantee, and you throw them away when they break. You just order the part and stick it on yourself. It's great.
Yeah, well, okay. Peter Collins says, James, in World War II, Stalin killed off all his generals who were getting too popular and challenged his authority. Now with your former colleague Mike Mendoza getting sacked, even though his ratings... I don't know that he got sacked, actually, to be fair. I think he ran out of contract. But still, I listened at your former place. I won't be listening to that. Well, I think perhaps Peter from Birmingham. I can't comment on that at the moment, I'm afraid. But it's sad. This is from Lee Henderson, says, only reason to become a politician is to line your own pockets. Most people know that the climate changes are natural things that happen to the earth. Politicians rely on idiots who believe crap. That tells them that the world is screwed because of 4x4s. I have a Cherokee Jeep. 4-litre! That's a big bugger, isn't it? Oh, I'm keeping it. The government are the same everywhere. All they want to do is take your rights away and screw more money out of you. Sack the lot of them. Lee Henderson. The Mac Man in Alicante. Hiya, Lee in Alicante. Yeah, I wish I was in Alicante. I think I'm going to go somewhere lovely and do my show from there in future. Got Lee sorting it out at the moment. Right, okay, so listen, I want a few calls. Here comes one now. The Olympics. I've got a lot to say about the Olympics in a moment. The James Watt Radio Show, you're on the air. Hello?
Hello, James. This is Luke from Washington State in the U.S.
Hey, Luke, how are you?
I'm pretty good, James. How are you?
I'm very good. Have we spoken before, Luke?
A couple of times we have.
Okay. In Washington, what part of Washington State are you in?
I'm in the southeast corner of Washington State.
Okay. I just like to picture it in my mind.
Well, think of a few rolling hillsides and lots of wheat fields.
Oh, like Yorkshire?
I don't know. I've never been that far up north, so I won't be able to tell you.
Oh, okay. All right.
You just read out an email about your former radio station, and I have a confession. I do still listen to them, but I refuse to listen to your time slot. And
listen, can I listen? Can I just say, look, I have still got really good friends who work there. All right. And just because I have a problem doesn't mean that I can't listen at the moment because it upsets me, because it was and a lot of people think, oh well, it was a big thing in my life and it hasn't come to a conclusion yet. Today I got a letter sent to my charity today, And somebody was very concerned about me, wondered whether I was ill or anything else, and sent £10. They'd raised £10 to send to my charity for kidney cancer. And they got the letter sent back. They put their name and address, as people do on their letters, on the back, and scribbled across the front of the letter was "gone away." And it was just sent back to them. And I just, things like that are just unnecessary. Just unnecessary.
Well,
if they didn't want me to work for them, then they could have found a way of doing without all this anyway.
Well, like I said, I still listen to them, and like Friday night, I thought, oh yeah, I'll listen to a bit of Mendoza, because, you know, he's okay. And he wasn't there, and they had this...
Anyway, listen, look, Matt. Luke, I mean, I don't really wish to get into a slagging contest about my former employers, okay? They're my I'm trying to get away and get on from that. All this business in radio of, you know, you can't talk about these things, bollocks. It hurt me greatly. I missed my audience. I'm getting back together with a lot of my audience who know where I am. I'm going to do some more shows on some more radio stations, and hopefully that way people will know I'm okay. But you know, things. I'm speechless, really. But I spoke to Listen, if it makes you feel any better, I spoke to Mr. Mendoza the other day, and he's very buoyant.
Good.
Okay?
Good.
And he will be popping back up on people's radios, I'm sure, before long.
I hope so. Off the subject then, I've got a hypothetical question I can't answer myself.
Go on, then.
And I was just wanting to put it to you. Knowing everything we know now, take yourself back 8 years ago, and suppose you was able to vote in the 2000 U.S. election, Mr. Bush against Mr. Gore. Who would you vote for?
Well, I think Al Gore. It's very, very. I'm sure if I had been voting in the U.S. election, I would probably have decided that Al Gore would have been a better bet than George Bush. That's for sure. But having now with hindsight, of course, and seeing the sort of ridiculous movie that Al Gore made about the environment, you know, I'm not sure. But I would probably have voted for Al Gore if I had been an American citizen 8 years ago.
But the question is, knowing what you know now.
I would, knowing what I know now, I would have left the States. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I would have probably abstained.
All right, mate.
Spoiled my ballet.
Take it easy. Good to talk, Luke.
You too, James.
Bye.
Bye.
If people can tell other people, if you can log on to other websites of other stations where people, there's been a number of people worried about my health, and touch wood of them, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
You look good.
I do feel quite okay, but because, you know, I had cancer, I spoke about it a lot of people thought because I disappeared from the airwaves, that was what happened again, which is why I'm so upset about what happened to me. And please, if every week I come in here, I find people who've just found us on the internet, which is great, but I just assumed everybody knew where we were. But because, you know, my website's got it right on the front page, but lots of people, of course, are getting online every day. People are getting online every day. So if you're a new listener, nice to have you with us. Please get in touch. That's what the program's all about. It's a program of discussion and a bit of music. And what? And commercials. And commercials. Well, let's play a commercial. Let's come right back after this.
Are everyday items stretching your family income to the limits at the moment? Me too. Well, I found this amazing website, comparison-plus.co.uk. It's amazing. You can compare the prices of thousands of products from all the big retailers. And what's more, it's a totally free service. You don't have to become a member to use Comparison Plus. But if you do register with comparison-plus.co.uk, you get cashback rewards, giving you even bigger savings. Don't pay over the odds. Click comparison-plus.co.uk and start saving now.
The James Whale Radio Show on PlayTwoUK with Blackadder Whiskies award-winning single malt. Visit PlayRadioUK.com and have the pure spirit of legend delivered to your door.
Okay, the James Whale Radio Show coming to you with Blackadder Spirit. And delightful.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
Do you know this Blackadder whiskey? My father. I'm just taking it out of the bottle. Out of the box. My father was a great whiskey drinker, and this is for connoisseurs. This whiskey. It is not to be swigged back and getting pissed out of your brain. This is a whiskey for the connoisseur to have a little sip. This is sipping whiskey. Okay? This bottle I've got in front of me here is 58.7% proof. It was bottled in 1994. Okay? It was bottled in 1994, but it has been in the cask for even longer. It has been in the cask for even longer. This is... You can't afford to buy this, all right? You need to save up to buy this. Blackadder raw cask is carefully bottled as it's drawn from the cask, retaining all its natural cask sediments, which are the bits that you can see in the bottom of the bottle, as well as all its natural oils and fats, thus ensuring the maximum possible natural flavour in every bottle. This kind of single malt. This is not a blended malt. This is a single malt whiskey, and it is delicious.
Am I allowed to look at it yet?
No. You're not old enough to look at this. You're not old enough. Okay? This Speyside malt whiskey is one of only 625 bottles drawn at cask strength from a first fill, and it is this one I have in my hand here. If I keep this for a few years, this just will go up in value. I'm just looking at it, okay? You can get yours, of course, listening to our sponsor and getting in touch. Yeah. That's the beauty of internet radio. I could not do that on the...
You couldn't, could you? You wouldn't be allowed, no.
But that's the way radio works. Is this somebody I need to talk to on here or not?
No, that was your last caller that you've just not dropped yet.
All right, okay. That was Luke. Okay, you want to join us? You can Skype me at play.radio.uk. Skype, play.radio.uk. Won't cost you a thing. Right. James, I have just seen on the Play UK radio webcam, Matt's got a bird in the studio. Have you?
I didn't realise you'd come in a dress, Ross.
Oh, shut up, Ross. Goodness sake. No wonder he can't concentrate on running the show tonight. You want to keep an eye on him tonight, as he's just sneaked her into the broom cupboard. How disgusting. Would you stop that?
Well, me?
Oh, Blackadder whiskey. Yeah. People can see on the webcam that was water, by the way.
Oh, right, so you're getting the game away. I was just going to say, will you be all right to drive? But never mind.
Yeah. The Olympics. I said I wasn't really bothered about the Olympics, and to be honest, I'm not a huge... I don't want to see people running around the track. I am, of course, a very keen archer, and I'm available, and I have told many broadcasting organisations if they want someone to commentate on archery. I used to do target archery. I was Surrey champion, 1965, under 16 champion in 1965. Neat. Shut your mouth. And I now practice field archery, which is pretending to go hunting, really, but it's it's quite fun in woods. And I'm going to the Surrey Clout Shoot in 3 weeks on Saturday. Clout Shoot is like like the old longbows. They used to shoot up in the air and they'd rain the arrow. Where you have a flag 200 yards away, and then you have a circled target on the ground, and the person who gets closest to the flag wins.
Wow.
So I'm doing that.
I imagine that's quite tricky as well.
You want to do a live outside broadcast for that?
Do we want to do a live outside?
Yeah, you could come along and commentate on me doing it.
I could come along and commentate back to the station, yeah.
Look at that draw there, look.
The whale draws back his bow.
Draw back your bow. You could play was Cupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cupid.
Draw back your
bow. And let your arrow go. Right, okay, right back to the... Anyway, let's stop that. So I'm interested in the Olympics because I think we need to keep an eye on what is actually going to go on there. I don't think that we should have sent our sportsmen and women to a... What are you making such a noise? I can't hear myself think. Tap, tap, tap. Can you not do it quietly when you're on the computer? Or I'll turn the microphone off, and then if you say I'm going to be... Have you got all the problems sorted yet, or not? Oh, you think so? Right, okay. So anyway, the pollution rate in China is appalling. I didn't realise it was as bad as it obviously is. So if anybody has a view on that, give us a ring. Also, the other story that I thought we should be talking about tonight is this declaration, apparently from local councils, that if you don't put your green bin out on the right day at the right time, you're going to get fined. What?
Well, that's ridiculous. First of all, the problems are now sorted. The web guys just waved at me through the window, and the website and player are now back up functioning properly.
Good.
But that's ridiculous, because say you get somebody who doesn't put out their paper bin, but who is an artist who does nothing but paper mache and therefore recycles it all for the use of their own art, so therefore gets fined.
But how do they know? How do these pillocks know how many newspapers or things, whether you have anything you want to recycle?
Well, yes.
Yeah. Could you tell John Hammond he's a prat, okay? And that if I have no interest in getting in touch with your mate on a local radio station, okay?
No, he's going to get him to call in as a normal caller.
Who?
John Hammond's friend. You're his idol.
Well, that's nice. Maybe he'd like to come in. I run the James Whale Radio Academy, and I run it from any radio station I'm on, and so I run it here too. And it's just always written into my contract that I can. The James Whale Radio Academy exists to help people find out whether radio broadcasting is for them. The James Whale Radio Broadcasting Academy is for those people who feel that a career in wireless is something they would like. The James Whale Radio Academy is a good grounding for you to find out as well whether it's the sort of job you would like. The James Whale Radio Academy will, of course, give you your own audition tape. It will give you a list of contacts. The James Whale Radio Academy will also allow you to become part of James Whale's show. In the James Whale Radio Academy, you join James for 5 nights. You make his coffee, you appear on the air, you look after his every whim. The James Whale Radio Academy that could start you off on a life of broadcasting. The James Whale Radio Academy is now running special offers at only £2,500 a week. £2,500 is all you have to pay to spend 5 days with James Whale.
Well, let's face it, if you're still alive after 5 days, you'll make it in this industry.
So there we are. If you want to find out more, email us. It's a good little money-making...
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. The only thing I haven't told them is that I take 15% of any job they get. Because I become the agent. But that's all right. That means they're working, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Kelly Brook broke down in tears after being busted for driving while chatting on a mobile phone. Tough tits, Kelly Brooks. It's always women. It's always women. I got hands-free fitted as soon as and I thought it was a good law. I thought it's a good law. The only thing I don't understand is why are you allowed to smoke and drive? That, to me, seems ridiculous. Anybody seen smoking while they're driving should be prosecuted in the same way that somebody who is... Golly. I said I didn't like athletics. Ooh. I was just looking through the Daily Mirror, and page 10 of the Mirror, he's got no willy. How can that be? I suppose the more you train, the less you get. It probably shrinks, doesn't it?
I bet that bike seat's nice and warm.
Yeah, they've got naked women. They've got one woman sitting naked on a bicycle. That's interesting. And then they've got a jumper who's jumping with no clothes on, and a swimmer who's just dived out of the swimming pool with no clothes on. Very fit-looking people. They've got Phillips Iduwu, who's 29, Commonwealth Games triple jump champion. He's naked. We've got Gregor Tate, who's 29 too, holds the Commonwealth record for 200-metre backstroke. And we've got Rebecca Romero, 28, who won the silver medal at the 2004 Olympics in Athens as a rower, but turned to cycling due to a persistent back injury. I would have thought cycling wouldn't have done your back much good either. 3 top athletes get their kit off to show the world their best of British. You can't see their best of British. Their best of British is hidden. Anyway, not to worry. Here's the story I was looking for. Here we go. This is the story. This is the main story of the day for me, as I can't believe this. Hang on. Families who put out too much rubbish are to face bigger fines than shoplifters. Now, my old friend Eric Pickles, who we should have got on the show tonight, would you make a little note to get Eric Pickles up?
Who's Eric Pickles?
Eric Pickles is the Shadow Minister for the Environment. Tory MP Eric Pickles said the government was creating an army of municipal bin bullies. And it'd be good to get... Well, I suppose if we could find... I haven't got a contact number on me for Eric, but still. I'm sure we can get him tomorrow.
Yes, I shall.
I'll give you the story in a minute. Families who put out too big much are going to get fined more than shoplifters. Guidance sent to local councils suggests on-the-spot fines of £75 to £110 for people who put out wheelie bins so full their lids cannot close. If somebody comes up and tries to fine me on, what are you going to do? You're going to say, yeah, oh, sorry, outside my own house, some pillock comes up and says they're going to fine you. There will be a flipping... There'll be a revolution. This is not on. In Britain, I am fed up with it. I've noticed that the cost of fuel is coming down a little, but nobody's apologising because there's no reason for it to be this high. And British gas executives are still free walking around the street after putting our gas up by 35%. It cannot be legal. It certainly isn't moral, and it can't be legal. Shoplifters usually get fined of £80 if caught. I got into a lot of trouble for saying, tongue-in-cheek, why don't we go off on a little shoplifting spree?
Yeah?
Because, you know, we haven't got much money now. You know, you've got less than me, but I've got very little. Well, listen, if we go out, you go out and do a bit of shoplifting, we can nick a few bits. What's the worst that can happen to us? If we get caught, right, we'll put our hands up, say, sorry, Gov, didn't realise. If they insist on prosecuting... The worst that's going to happen to us is we're going to get an £80 fine. So why don't we do it? Why aren't we all out there? Why aren't we all out there shoplifting? Can anybody tell me what is the deterrent not to nick stuff? See, if I was in power, there are certain things I like about Sharia law. Yeah, let's cut the hands off shoplifters.
We have a Skype call.
Do we? Who from?
John Hammond.
Oh, we don't want to talk to him. He's been annoying me. What? Hammond!
Hello, James. How are you?
I'm fine.
Oh, jolly good. Got your message, by the way.
Yeah, do me a favour. Piss off. Don't come back. Right, okay, so, listen, don't put people on who sound like that, all right? I don't want people who sound like train spotters put through to me on the air, all right? This is a professional bloody radio show. Don't put train spotters on the air from people on hospital radio. I don't want them!
I can't tell what he sounds like on Skype.
Of course you can.
Not until we've opened the call.
All right, okay, I'll let you off.
Unless you want to swap sides, James.
Sides?
Sides.
Why?
If you want to come round here, then I'll be able to monitor people's voices.
No, I like my side of the desk. You spend yours there. Shoplifters usually get £80 if caught, but if you put too much rubbish out, it's going to be 110 or 75. It's balmy, isn't it? The Environment Department yesterday said fixed penalty notice fines are an alternative to prosecution. Call for by local authority. I tell you, I don't think we need local government anymore. And what about the regional assemblies? Do you know who your regional assembly members are? No. Nor do I, and I should do, shouldn't I? Do you know yours? No. Do any of you know yours? No. Regional assembly members, this is an unelected, undemocratic strata of government imposed by the bloody Labour Party, which is not needed and definitely not necessary. Discuss. 01243 55 60 60. What's the number?
01243 55 60 60.
Broadcasting live to the UK. News, information, entertainment. entertainment, and the best music from the past 40 years. This is Play2UK. James Whale. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and unleashed. The James Whale Radio Show on Play2UK with Blackadder Whiskies award-winning single malt. Visit playradiouk.com and have the pure spirit of legend delivered to your door.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
Okay, it's 9 o'clock. Good evening to you. Welcome to the James Whale Radio Show. 9 o'clock, and we're here. Of course, that's better. I've just had them turn down one of the lights. You know how they turn the light down? They put an old piece of pizza tray over the light. If it sets the studio on fire, you'll know all about it. So anyway, welcome to the James Whale Radio Show. Nice to have you there. If you want to join me, I'll tell you the numbers and the emails in a moment. Talking tonight about, I don't know, about everything. Anything you want to talk about tonight. The Olympics, okay, we'll talk about how we're poisoning our athletes by sending them to Beijing. And this ridiculous business now that you and I are going to be fined more for not putting our rubbish out properly than if we went and nicked stuff in a shop. Local authorities are going completely mad. Nice to see that Tory MP Eric Pickles said that the government's creating an army of municipal bin bullies. And it's not bad enough that they stick their noses in our rubbish, that now they're going to fine us if we don't put the right rubbish out at the right time. Expect some cocky bloke in a high visibility vest coming round to your place and giving you £110 fine. If you want to talk, give us a call. 01243 55 60 60. 01243 55 60 60. Skype me at play.radio.uk or send us an email at studio@playradiouk.com. And, John Hammond's listened to me for loads of years. He's not going to listen anymore. Thank goodness for that, John. And don't start ringing me again saying, can you ring my mate up? He's on the radio too. Pathetic child. G-Man.
Good evening, James. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you?
I'm actually Gary from Catford. That's just my Skype name.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Gary from...
Sorry,
yeah.
didn't mean to purposely confuse you.
No, it's easy, as you know, purposely confusing me.
Am I coming through clear?
You're coming through quite clear. I'm quite impressed. You're nearly clearer than I am.
I'm ringing up because I heard you mention I actually witnessed somebody stealing some stuff today.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just... I won't give any places away, but he was in a shop. And it was one of these shops where all the servers are behind the counter. And it was actually them to come over the barriers or get out, stop it. It's a very small shop. And the guy...
Now your Skype's gone funny, Gary. What's wrong?
Now it's gone. Sorry, is that any better?
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know. Maybe someone sort of clicked across my traffic or something. I don't know.
Oh.
But
gosh,
I don't understand much. But basically, this guy started putting bottles of drink into his bag, paid for like one item, but clearly had a number of items in his bag. And even though people in the shop were kind of pointing and saying he's got more stuff, and in fact I turned around and said he's got about 10 bottles of drink in that bag, and about 2 other blokes pointed it out as well. None of the shop people moved. And they said, oh no, it's not worth it. And as he ran out, he said, it's the credit crunch, which I thought was quite humorous. And actually some bloke in the shop proceeded to defend him and said, oh, you got to do what you got to do, you know, times are hard.
Oh, bollocks. Listen, that's the biggest load of shit I've heard for a long time. The bloke says, oh, it's a credit crunch, mate, I can't stop, I've got a nick here, I can't drink otherwise. Chop his hands off.
You've got to give him some plaudits for coming up with a good reason, but obviously it's,
not that much. Birch him in public.
Well, a couple of people did try to go after him, but the guy was quick.
Yeah. And listen, if the people in the shop aren't bothered, why should anybody else be bothered? Of course, if the boss of the shop, what name the shop?
It was Greg's, the baker.
Was it really? Whereabouts? In Catford?
No, in Camberwell.
Okay, well, quite frankly, I think Greggs the Bakers want to get onto their staff down there and sort them out. Maybe they have a policy of not prosecuting. I don't know. I mean, if that's their policy, then people will just continue to go out and nick stuff all over the place. I think that's appalling, to be honest with you. Well done to you for... say again?
I don't wish to sort of, say that people now are going to start nicking stuff from Camberwell, but...
No, but,
from Greggs the Baker.
It seems... Well, listen, it seems to me that if you said, listen, he's got more drink in there and he's paying for it, and they say, yeah, but it's not worth it. Well, if everybody goes in to do it, they'll soon find it is worth it. And this, I'll tell you what really annoys me. Here we are, you nick something, your maximum fine apparently is about 80 quid for shoplifting. What is
really?
that?
That's not much.
You're going to get fined more. That's the whole point of this discussion. You're going to get fined more for not putting your wheelie bin out in the right place with the right amount of rubbish in it.
That's just ridiculous. Is it just certain councils that are saying that, or is it...
Oh, they're all going to do it before long, because they're peopled by pillocks, and they're going broke. Listen, they've not got enough money in your local authority to pay all the bloody councillors and all the council workers the huge fat pensions that they want to get when they reach retirement age.
Isn't it interesting that you mentioned pensions? There's not much sort of in the news at the moment about pension funds. There was a couple of years ago, wasn't there, about the fact that...
Well, because no one's going to get one. I mean, how old are you?
And this is the thing. I'm in my mid-30s. I'm 33, so pensions are something I'm beginning to think about.
Too late, mate. Can I be honest with you?
Too late, yeah.
It is too late. I mean... You need to save up at least £750,000 in your pension.
As much as that?
Yeah. Wow. I cancelled my pension a long time ago. Because, because I said, how much is my...
Are you asking why?
Yeah, because I said, how much is my pension worth? And, I'm getting on. I know I don't look it or sound it, but, I'm getting on. Not as old as some, but I could cash in...
Is that something that you decided for your family, or was it a personal decision that you said you're not going to do it?
Decided for myself. Got nothing to do with my family. My wife and I decided. I might not live long enough to claim a pension anyway. So why pay money into a pension? And in fact... I had not paid enormous amount into a pension. I paid a little bit for a long time into a pension, and I decided that at 50 you can find out how much your pension's worth, or see what it, and they'll do a prediction for you. Because when I took a pension out, I could cash it in at the age of 50, which seemed like very old to me. But then when you get to 50, you think, well, no, it's not. Anyway, by the time I get to 75, right? Which I won't be bothered about, my pension would be worth 150 quid a week.
It's not a lot.
No, not really.
Not really.
And by the time I get...
Not for the lifestyle of your whiskey and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And by the time I get to 75, it'll be worth a lot less, won't it?
So true.
So I said, well, how much would it be worth now?
Maybe
when I
we'll
did
have to rely upon some rich relatives.
Well, I haven't got any, but if you have, maybe you can look after me when you get old. I keep offering my services to my rich friends to become their driver or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe you should become godfather to a few children, get them to look after your old age.
Maybe I should just become the godfather.
Indeed. I'm sure Matt could, help you out.
Nah, he doesn't ask. He's not interested in money. He's a bloody socialist.
Oh, I'm surprised. Matt's quite an authority figure on Sharia law. When you brought it up, I was surprised he didn't step right in.
No, he knows all about nothing.
He's quite a commentator on Sharia law.
Yeah, but he doesn't know what it's all about. He doesn't understand the reasoning behind it either.
Sure, you could teach him.
No, he's too far gone. He's been indoctrinated by people who roll up their own cigarettes. Anyway, good to talk to you, G-Man. I mean, Gary.
Good to talk to you. Take care, James.
Talk to you later. Bye. Right. Some funny emails coming in. James, nice to hear you back on the airwaves. Every time you get a caller who says they have just found you again on Playradio UK, why don't you ask them to tell their mates? That's a jolly good job. Why don't I do that? That comes from R. So if somebody says to you, where's James Whale, tell them Playradio UK every night. All right? Monday and Tuesday, I mean. Monday. What are you doing, you two? Where have you both been together?
I was just showing Ross how to use the kettle.
That's what you call it?
Yes.
Okay. Ross, I'm surprised. Are you all right? Yeah. Okay, fine. Okay, now, I forgot what I was going to talk about. Both of you come in like that and disgusts me.
Sorry.
I should think that. I don't want to be... I might catch it. Can you catch puffery or not?
Puffery? It's not even an actual word.
I just made it up. Sorry, I shouldn't have done. I'm going to get struck off. Being everybody thinks I'm gay anyway. Why should I? Well, I'm an honorary gay person.
Are you?
I don't mind. Well, yeah, I'm
Why
an
are you
honorary gay.
gay
Well, because
person?
I am an
Did you
honorary
kiss
gay
a man
person.
once? Or?
I kissed quite a few men once.
Have you ever used tongues?
Yeah. Haven't you?
No. Not with a man.
Yes, you have.
Ross, tell him.
Why do you always talk to Ross? Why always to Ross? Okay, listen. James just had an email from Jessica Jackson telling me that you wouldn't be on air next week, but I would be happy to know 2 different hosts will be taking over. I will be next week, Seamus O'Reilly. I'm glad to... I'm not... I think the week beginning the 18th. Yeah,
18th
week
and
beginning
19th.
The 18th and 19th I won't be here.
Ian Lee will be covering on the 18th, Tommy Boyd on the 19th.
And I'm very, very grateful to them. I'm still getting paid. They're going to do the work for nothing. Because, they're both in full-time employment. Oh, no. Ian, yeah, they are, yeah.
Ian Lee's the voice of Dave.
Yes, that's right. When did that happen?
Oh, a few months ago, I think.
Was it? Yeah. The voice of Dave. I'm not sure whether that's the sort of thing I think Ian should be doing. But then he probably doesn't think I should be doing Bid Up TV. I'm on Fridays, by the way. Bid TV Friday, this Friday afternoon at 4:30. Join me on Friday, 4:30. Yeah.
Yes.
He's doing he's doing other radio things as well, isn't he, Ian?
Big Brother's Big Ears. Don't know why you want to listen to that, though.
Well, I don't know. I haven't listened.
It's Big Brother, isn't it? I'm not...
Yeah.
It's all rubbish. All load of bollocks, if you ask me.
Yeah. But then that's because they didn't ask you. James, you look and sound as good as I do. What? You look and sound as good as I do. We are a lucky pair to share great looks. This is David Hazlitt. Since the Muslim burial in Derby has reached the news media, did you review the Freedom of Information from Leicester City Council that I sent you a couple of weeks ago, David, in Leicester? I didn't, did I? I don't think I got it. Did you get it?
I think I passed it to you, but so many things end up in the bin when you're moving your paper around. I mean, last week we lost all the information, didn't we?
Yeah. All right, okay.
We'll still have the email, though, so I'll be able to retrieve it.
Yeah, we'll find it, don't you worry. Is it right you're going to do some music radio, James? Yes, I am. This might amuse you. Lost in Translation just shows what happens when you rely on computers for everything. Enjoying the show. Translate server error. That's from our new sponsor, Robin Blackadder of Blackadder Whiskey.
Mm.
I don't understand that. Do you understand?
It's I believe it's a Japanese sign. And it translates to translate server error, which is basically saying the message can't be translated.
Oh, right. Well, then, that's okay. Blackadder, the pure spirit of legend. I should do his voiceovers. Okay. Now, what have you given me here? Linda from the North East.
She called.
Yeah.
Just to give you that message. But, she's Linda from the North East, and she's listening. She agrees with you about the council thing because her councillor threatening to charge all those up in the North East if they do the same thing.
With you on council, all right. What part of the North East are you from, Linda?
Stockton-on-Tees.
In Stockton. Linda in Stockton. Give us a ring, Linda. Let's hear the sound of your voice.
It's a very nice voice.
Is it?
Oh, yes.
You've been chatting her up on the phone?
No, not chatting her up.
What then?
No, just said it was a very nice voice.
Yeah,
very polite lady.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather when they rang in I got to talk to them.
She said pass the message on to stop you shouting at me.
Really?
Yes.
All right, okay. I haven't shouted at you at all. But I'm going to. So Eric Pickles tomorrow, if we can. And also, I think tomorrow we're going to get Richard Lawrence on. From the... Did Kevin tell you about that? Oh, really? I thought he was going to. Anyway, Richard Lawrence is from the Aetherius Society. Have we had Richard Lawrence on before? I don't think we have.
Not on here, we haven't, no.
Well, Richard Lawrence is a good friend of mine, and the Aetherius Society is interested. They're in contact with aliens. Yeah, aliens, and apparently there is a lot of alien activity around at the moment because, of course, aliens are here to try and help us. Some are evil. But Dr. Richard Lawrence from the Aetherius Society Hopefully tomorrow night we'll be talking about it. Good. Time to take a break? No, it's not, is it? No, I've got loads of time. I could do a couple more emails. Let's take a couple of calls. Give us a ring. 01243 55 60 60. What's the number?
01243 55 60 60.
Excellent. Now, this is from Errol Hassan. Hi, Errol. Did you hear that the NASA astronaut, Ed Mitchell, Dr. Ed Mitchell, who walked on the moon in the Apollo 14 mission, has announced on radio that aliens have been visiting us, and this has been covered up by the government for 60 years. Is it possible for you to get him on the show?
What was that guy's name?
I will give you the email in a moment. Also, James Hatfield of UFO Investigations UK called for an official MOD inquiry after his organisation received a number of reports of sightings last Saturday night. I think we might have to get Nick Pope on also to talk about this, but that would be very good, because I want to know why that particular radio station there got that interview and we didn't. So you might find that out. Oh, look, here we are. This is good. Chris in Huddersfield said he watched me on Press TV, and he thought I was very professional. You certainly adapt well to different presenting roles. I actually enjoyed these recordings a lot. Interesting debates. Also brought a bit of joy to Sunday's BBC One show. Isn't that nice? Really? Because I'm not this big bombastic, but the Hammond's back. Hammond is back on there again. What's he... Oh, you've cut him off now?
No, he's not phoned in. He messaged me.
Oh, did he?
Ask James this.
Okay, I can read it from here.
He says, ask him this, and then doesn't give me a question. But the guy who was trying to call was the DJ that was caught on the webcam and emailed in. Do you remember, with his hands down his pants?
I don't
I think
know.
One of the first shows we did.
No, I don't remember that.
Well,
it wasn't me. I don't think it was me. I would have reported him to the police.
Maybe it was when you were away and Tommy covered.
Could be.
It could be.
Yeah, I no.
But no, someone emailed in a section of... so that camera updates every 5 seconds, so does theirs. So they emailed in each 5-second shot, and each one was him getting closer and closer, and then having his hands down his pants and leaning back on his chair in the middle of a show.
Is that really the sort of thing we want to spend our time talking about?
Well,
I mean, the fact that certain people on certain radio stations play with themselves, is that really something we want to bother about? I don't think so.
They should get themselves a Ross.
Yeah. A what?
A Ross.
Yeah. Get themselves a Ross, yeah. Tell folk how to see the Press TV show. All right, I'll tell you how to see the Press TV show. I'm doing one tomorrow. I'm doing another show for them called Off the Cuff, which is a sort of discussion program with an audience. If you go to presstv.com, PRESS-TV.com, click the Programs tab and select a program called Epilogue, which I'm doing, discussing, well, they're not heavy books, they're books about America and the world and about politics and how it relates to America, and this week we're discussing America's midlife crisis.
Is America having one?
I think America's having a bloody big midlife crisis myself.
The country's not that old in comparison to the rest of world history, is it?
No, but it's just about going into its middle-age crisis, isn't it? I mean, what else can you say? Now they're threatening Iran. I mean, just, why don't we just blow the world up? Then we can all get on with our next lives.
Well, isn't this just a case of who's in charge? And when if Obama gets in, then democracy will...
Hang on. Who made America in charge of the world?
Nobody. But what I'm saying is somebody might have a bit of a megalomaniac complex.
If Obama ever gets... I'm not 100% sure. I mean, the problem is that everybody's getting excited about Obama. I don't want the old guy who can't go any higher than this with his arms. He's about there, isn't he? Mm-hmm. You've never seen him go there.
No.
Because he can't do that. No. So he's there. He's 75 years old. Mm. When I'm 75, I'll be getting 150 quid a week. No, I won't, because I scrapped my pension. I won't even be getting that. I probably won't get to that age. I've got 10 years left. What am I going to do in 10 years?
Run for government.
I don't know. I just want to have fun.
Yeah?
Make a bit of money, have fun.
You and Peter Stringfellow should
set
up a villa abroad.
Yeah. Have you seen me in a thong? Would you like to see me in a thong? Email me if you want to see me in a thong. I'll put a thong on in front of the webcam tonight.
I'd prefer a mankini.
No. Just a thong.
Just a thong.
I'll get the tits out and just a thong. Ian, and we've got loads of emails tonight. I think I'm going to take a break now.
Yes.
I think what I'd like to do, love your emails, keep them coming in, but I would like to take a few calls on air. So if you want to join us on air tonight, the James Well Radio Show, as it always was, talking about the issues of the day. The politicians are buggered off. They're not happening. There's no government. If you want to invade, by the way, I always say this is a good time to invade the country because there's nobody in charge.
And we've got no military here either.
No military here either because they're all abroad. We got, well, they are, aren't they?
We've got community support officers.
Yeah, and can I tell you, I was in Harrogate on Sunday morning. Because that's where I was staying when I was doing the BBC thing. I was in Harrogate, and I came back to the hotel I was staying in, and the car stopped, let me out because the roads were closed, and there was a military procession. It was amazing, and I was so proud, and I stood and clapped these guys. I don't know whether they had been to Iraq, were on their way to Iraq. They'd been training. There's a big barracks near Harrogate, up in the Yorkshire Moors. And these guys had been asked, they were parading through. There were thousands of these guys marching very smartly. And it makes your heart, you know, it makes you feel good. There was the military band, they were playing the music. These guys were so perfectly turned out. And their commanding officers and everything else. It's just fantastic. And as soon as they marched in, and the parade went on and on and on. These guys marching. And just everybody started clapping them. Because, you know, these kids, and they're all kids, I mean, they're all his age, okay? They're there, fixed bayonets, marching through the town. Who knows what they're... I'll do it, it's okay. Who knows what they're likely to face, but well done to them. The James Whale Radio Show, you're on the air. Hello.
Just quickly on the Obama thing.
Yeah, well, quickly on the Obama thing in a couple of seconds, dear boy, right after this.
PlayTwoUK headlines.
Hollywood actor Morgan Freeman has been seriously hurt in a car crash. He's being treated at a hospital in Memphis after being airlifted from the scene in Mississippi. The prime suspect in the murders of a British honeymoon couple in Antigua is being questioned for a second time. Beach vendor Clarence James, who's also known as Cloud, is thought to have befriended Ben and Catherine Mullaney during their holiday. A retrial is to be held for three men accused of helping the July the 7th bombers. Wahid Ali, Sadeh Salim and Mohammed Shakil, who were all from Beeston in Leeds, were accused of checking out London tourist attractions for possible attacks. And a new era has begun in English cricket. Kevin Peterson's been appointed as captain of both the Test and one-day sides.
PlayTwoUK weather.
Hang on, I'm not ready yet. Hold on. Right, okay, here we go. Tonight, any showers left over from this afternoon will die away, I'm glad, leaving most places dry overnight with clear spells. However, locally, heavy rain across Cornwall will move slowly north-eastwards across southern parts of both England and Wales. And tomorrow, humid and often wet across Wales and central and southern England, mainly dry with sunny intervals further north, although patchy rain will edge into Northern Ireland and northwestern England later.
You're up to date on PlayTwoUK.
If you want to increase your profits, go the extra mile for your customers, and bring loyalty to your business, then you need Play and Store. In-house or online, Play and Store is your personal, made-to-measure music and marketing tool. As part of the Play Radio network, we are experts at creating the perfect radio station for your customers, in turn delivering an increase in sales, staff morale and brand awareness. Go to playandstore.co.uk.
The James Whale Radio Show on PlayTwoUK with Blackadder Whiskies. Single malt made the traditional way. Visit PlayRadioUK.com and unlock the spirit of legend.
James Whale. If opinions count, this man must be a mathematical genius.
My home. We're having a little light snack. Put it away. We shouldn't eat while we're on the air.
Sorry.
Good. Forget the horn. Right, we've got caller on, haven't we? Was it caller?
Just Obama.
Do you not think one call a night? I mean, you know, it might not be that internet radio gets enormous quantities of calls yet, but it will. Do you not think hogging it is...
Hogging it. You haven't had a call for about 40 minutes.
Well, that's because we didn't want a call for 40 minutes. When I say I get a call, I get a call, like you ring in.
What's the point of having a phone-in show with no calls?
This is not... Who said this? Do you know, that's one term Pillock features I cannot stand.
All right,
it's not a phone-in. This is a talk show, and I might occasionally get some prat on the phone like you to humiliate, but it's not a phone-in show like Mrs. Smith ringing in saying, "Oh, and I've got lobelias in the bottom of my garden, and I wondered what I can do about it."
Well, unfortunately, you should have...
Well, shut up. Do I want to hear you? I just want to hear me talk. I don't want to hear you.
Because it's
at least you mentioned fat-bottom girls. I was one decent thing you've done tonight. We could have had a discussion going about fat-bottom girls, but I haven't had one ring in.
It's marketed as a phone-in show.
Well, don't market it as a phone-in show. Nobody said it's a phone-in show. That is the most old-fashioned term I have heard.
Yes, but I think it's good sometimes. You know, you can rely on certain things, James. We're in an ever-changing world.
Yeah.
Like you said, everything's multimedia now.
Yeah.
Nice to have some good old-fashioned, something strong you can rely on. Isn't it? Like an old Ford. Anyway, Obama. Are you drinking that whiskey again?
Mm.
Don't drink too much now. I don't want you getting loose and fruity on over the internet airwaves.
Do you know, I was in Catford at the was it Catford? Where was I? Lewisham? No, I was in Stratford.
Oh yes.
And I looked at all these new flats they're building.
Should have popped in.
Thinking he's never going to sell any of these. Who wants to live here?
I don't care anymore. Who cares about the property? There is no property market. It's not even... I don't do anything. Anyway, right. Obama. Now, two things on Obama. The first thing is that it's written somewhere, now I can't remember exactly where, that when a black man...
No, that's enough. I think there's very racist overtones in your voice.
No, don't be...
I think so. Don't you? I think so. Do you not think we've got to be careful about him?
Well...
I think so. I mean, racism is something I really can't tolerate. You know, I don't mind baldism, because I can deal with that. I don't mind fatism and thinism, deal with that. But I think racism, I don't like. You know, having a go at somebody because of the colour of his skin. Or discussing somebody because of the colour of their skin. Or saying, you know... Because we pink podgy people have got nothing to shout about, have we, really? When you think about it.
No.
You know, I know you go around wearing pointed hats all the time, Matt, and wearing white with a red cross on the back, but you're gonna grow out of that.
White with a red cross on the back.
I think callers got to be dealt with. Yeah.
No, you are wrong, right?
No, we'll never... No, don't be silly. Do you know who I am?
No. Yes, I know who you are. And suggesting that there's any racist overtone in my call is not only insulting, but you are demeaning yourself by doing that. Because what you're really saying is that every time you hear the word black, you think that someone's being racist. And
no, absolutely not. But every time you get a chance, you seem to be.
Relationship. Oh, give me an example of when I've been racist.
Oh, every time you open your mouth. Well, listen, I'm going to just test it one more time, okay? I'm going to test it one more time and see whether you can actually say something intelligent or not. So off you go.
What I was going to say...
Against my better judgment, but there we are.
No, what I was going to say, and you can't say it any other way, and it's not racist. No, I don't even want to say it now. You know, you've upset me.
Good. I knew it. I knew it.
I was at an Asian festival all day yesterday. We were doing an outside broadcast, and there was this great coming together of, like, so many different cultures, you know, Muslims, Christians, Asian people, white people, black people, all in this one park, 10,000 of them, watching some of the biggest UK Asian artists. You know, young guys, 25, 26, 27, trying to inspire new kids to go out and make Asian music and not go out and drop bombs and all that kind of stuff. And turned up at this park about a group of 6, what I can speculate were Muslim men, because I didn't actually ask them to find them because the police dealt with them. They turned up with a microphone and a mini speaker where everybody was having fun, and decided they would stand at the side and shout down the microphone that Allah forbids cross-faith dialogue, etc., etc., and just trying to ruin everybody's day. And then when the police tried to move them on, they just kicked up a fuss, and I think probably ended up getting arrested.
Good.
I don't know.
They should have got arrested, and they should have got locked up for religious intolerance and left to rot, in my view. You know, it's a pain in the arse, isn't it? It's the Christian and Muslim zealots. I mean, even Jehovah's Witnesses don't get on my nerves as much.
No.
Because at least with a Jehovah's Witness, you can have a laugh. Come to the door, strip off in front of them, see how far they go. You know, these pillocks who go on and start going on about, you know, you can't do this. They're the sort who believe absolute rubbish. It really, really worries me. And the unfortunate thing is, in certain countries in the world, people in government who believe this crap get into power. God forbid we ever get another Christian leader of America. That's a problem. That is a problem. Because the world is doomed if you get another happy clapper as the... Well, that's what, you know, isn't he? He's a happy clapper.
Was Clinton religious?
No, he was doing stuff with cigars. Come on. No, of course he wasn't religious. Okay. The good thing about Clinton, he didn't even pretend to be religious.
No, but I thought, personally, in my opinion, he was a good leader.
He was.
And he was good for world economy and good for world relations.
He was very good for relations.
So just that...
I did not have relations with that woman! Lying bastard. Of course he had relations with a woman.
Yeah, but
just because you use another object doesn't... Anyway, what?
Well... What? I've completely lost my train of thought there.
Yeah. No, but I'm glad you're actually right. You know, it's the same when you see... You know, there are these idiots who, for some strange reason, believe that they're doing the work of their God. And whether they're Muslims or Christians, they're just as balmy. Because it's all rubbish.
Yeah.
You know, they believe stuff that cannot be right. That was written by people so long ago, nobody knows who wrote it. Nobody even knows whether these people... You know, people will say now, it's proved that Jesus Christ lived. It's not.
No.
It's not proved at all. And then there's a really good book called James, the Brother of Jesus, written. It's even bigger than the Bible, all about
his brother
James, who existed.
Wasn't a star.
Well,
he couldn't get a look in because of his older brother.
No, completely the opposite. And goes on to write that Jesus got married, went off to India, went along the hippie trail, was married, had children. And that's the interesting thing, of course, and you know, go back to the Da Vinci Code. The bloodline could still exist.
Yes.
Relatives of this man, Jesus, could still exist in this planet, on this planet. And the whole thing is up for discussion. And yet there are certain people who believe stories that have probably have no validity whatsoever. Just balmy. And these people make up these things to try and disturb. I mean, I bet these guys are sitting there, made the whole thing feel tense while they were there. Yeah? And I bet they were youngish too. Thugs.
See, the thing I don't get is more and more religion from all walks of life is constant, well, I won't say constantly, but quite often associated with obsession, repression, assault, paedophilia. Bill Clinton happens to just cheat on his wife with a woman who is perfectly of age and who is perfectly, well, I won't say sane, or whatever, and they completely have a go at him, whereas, you know, religion, these dodgy things have been going on for years and years and years, and everybody's still so into it and with it.
And somebody's then, if you use that argument, actually, Matt, you've got to be very careful, because someone's going to say, well, then there must be something in it, mustn't there? But no, there mustn't. This is perpetuated by people who have found a way to get control and a hold over you. And if you look at the Anglican Church and their completely ridiculous argument at the moment, there's always, we're going to split. We're going to have a chasm. Was it? Not a chasm. What's the word they use? Schism. A schism. I love that word. It means nothing, but there we are. We're going to have a schism. Because why? Because we've allowed women in the church. You can't have women in the church. Why should women be at home cooking, cleaning, scrubbing? Can't have them in the church. And gay men in the church. Can't have gay men in the church. If you didn't have gay men in the church, you'd have hardly any priests, would you?
No, that's right.
You know. I'm not embarrassing you too, am I?
No. I have no intention of becoming a priest.
No. Good. Okay, that's it. 01243 55 60 60 or Skype me at play.radio.uk. Email at studio@playradiouk.com. Right, let's go back to a couple of, what? You want to do anything?
Just
What?
Just teaching Ross here how to do things.
He's going to get some emails, is he?
Yeah.
Okay. Ian in St Albans said, the problem with David Miliband is that he may have shown his hand too early. David Miliband, of course, is the man I described on Sky News last Thursday morning. As a man, you can't trust a man who has a 15-year-old's moustache, who's obviously not started shaving.
Really? I've not noticed.
You look at the 5 o'clock shadow across his top lip.
It's more like an old woman's hairy lip as opposed to a man's moustache.
Exactly. You look at it. Just look at it and see. The James Well Radio Show, you're on the air. Hello?
Hello?
Who's that?
It's Rob.
Rob?
Yeah.
Rob the job.
Rob the what?
I don't know. Where from, Rob?
From Sheffield, matey.
From Sheffield, okay. Hang on, Rob. I'm just gonna finish doing Ian in St Albans' email. He said, Michael Heseltine effectively destroyed their leadership hopes by creating cover too early in these situations. A leader gradually emerges, for example, after Margaret Thatcher was asked to leave. John Major was a real outside bet. I have a feeling that the next Labour leader might be a dark horse, like James Purnell. Possibility, Ian, in Hertfordshire. Possibility. Robbo, yeah, what can we do for you?
All right, Mr. Whale, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I've been spreading the word, matey. It's really hard because I don't want to not play radio, but there's not much publicity for you. And I was talking in the canteen today, saying, like, obviously I was listening to one of your podcasts, and there was like it was like an audience slowly gathered. It was like, is that James Whale? I was like, yeah, he's back on.
Well, you know, I'm going to have to take issue then with the people at Playradio and tell them, what's the point of having me here if nobody bloody knows I'm here?
I told him that, matey. I said, you turn on, you'll hear him. He's there. He's still crying about losing his job. He's like a pig in a trough on that webcam, crying his arse out. Shove it up your arse. You lost your job. Move on. God's sake.
Absolutely
fed up, son. Fed up. Ryan Reynolds.
Have you finished? Or not? Has he finished?
Oh, he must have gone, yeah.
Has he gone?
He must have, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Do you think that was the other lot, sort of, that must have been the one that they wanted us to ring up and...
No, I think that's somebody who just rings radio stations, starts what is meant to be a normal conversation, and then he's shouting Ryan Reynolds.
Have you heard that? Oh, well, that's a sort of student thing, that they bet each other whether they can get onto a radio station and say somebody's name.
Rob Burnett.
Who? Who's Rob Burnett?
Well, someone in the chat room says, is this Rob Burnett? Yes, it is.
Yeah. Who, the one who's just on?
The Ryan Reynolds thing,
yeah. Do you know, sometimes over years and years of doing this, you get calls like that.
Yeah.
And I would really like to get one, just for an hour.
What, you mean into the show? Or live in the show? Oh, well, if he calls back, we'll ask him.
Just peel his skin off, slowly.
Bit of salt? Yeah. Sounds good.
Let's see if that's the only thing, of course, when we do it live like this and calls come in. I don't think we'll take any more calls, because you only get dull people on, don't you, like that caller bloke. Although he could have been funny. You see, never mind. Doesn't matter, really. Who's that? Lee Cherry. Who's Lee Cherry?
Don't know.
Do they just come on like that? Do they just flip on? Is that when we get a Skype call? Is that a bloke or a woman?
It's not a call.
What?
It's a guy.
Oh. Don't want them then.
Yes, they pop in and he's saying, is James on air now? I thought if you'd have checked and listened to the website, then yes.
Are they calling you an Ian Lee groupie?
No.
On there, look, on the chat room. He's an Ian Lee groupie.
No, this is the guy that rang up for the Ryan Reynolds. Apparently a regular caller on Ian Lee's show.
Who is?
This guy who shouts Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, really? Okay, fine, well, there we are. Might be Ian, of course. Because I used to ring Ian Lee when he was on LBC.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes, I did. You used to ring in as a psychotherapist or something.
All sorts of things. That was a good one, though. As a psychotherapist. Who's this bloke, then? Lee Cherry.
He says, please tell James I'm now in Brussels. Lee from Morley in Leeds.
Hello, Lee from Morley. Can we talk to him?
Why not? I don't know if he's got a Skype phone.
Well, how come his picture comes up?
Because that's just a photo.
But it says Skype.
Yes, because Skype is a chat room with the option to call. So you don't have to have a Skype phone or anything. Right. You can just be in on the chat.
I'm learning lots of things here. Lots of technical stuff I didn't know before. Very good. Peter Collins is back on. He says, hi again. Could you talk about this because it is in the public spotlight? You probably know. I didn't know that at all. I can't talk about it. I'd love to talk about that. Poor old Alan. Is he really? No, this is wrong anyway. I'm sorry. Oh,
is that a bit?
I'd like to know if that's true. As far as I understand, it isn't.
Do you want to have a read?
Yeah, have a read. I'll have a look at it on YouTube. I mean, the context's right, but I'm not sure. So, I'm not. Right, Seamus. If aliens are here to help us, James, when are they going to start? Seamus O'Reilly back on. Thank you, Seamus. I don't know. It'd be interesting to find out if there are any aliens there. Well, mind you, a couple of aliens today. Probably, I don't know. Lee Cherry is currently not on Skype. All right. Well, there we are. If he's not on Skype, we can't talk to him on Skype, can we?
He says he has. I'm calling him now.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, we'll see.
We can...
Jail for millionaire shoplifter. A man police dubbed the millionaire shoplifter has been jailed for more than 2 years for money laundering. Oh, here's some justice, I suppose, just in. Let's have a look at this. Kevin Castle of Nottingham obtained refunds for shoplifted goods from DIY stores in northwest England and the Midlands. Castle was wanted by police forces in Lancashire, Nottingham, and Greater Manchester when he was caught at Preston Crown Court. Castle admitted money laundering and was jailed for 28 months. I would have thought that deserved more than... Well, he'll be out in 12, won't he?
What was the offence?
Well, he went around nicking stuff.
Yes.
Right, then took it back to get refunds.
Yes.
Money laundering. And, you know, you get 28 months out in a year.
Yeah, but just for shoplifting a few things, is that...
Yeah, no, anything. What do you mean, I sometimes regret things you say, Matt. You say some...
don't regret the things I say.
Well, I do.
Regret the things I don't say.
No, I regret the things you do say. The things you don't say are better left unsaid, to be honest. Honestly, what ridiculous... Oh, just nicked a few things. You nick a few things and get away with it. You go back and you nick more later. The same way that you thumped somebody and get away with it the first time, you go, perhaps I'll kill him next time and see if I can get away with it.
But you're saying 28 months wasn't long enough?
No, of course it's not long enough.
How long should a shoplifter get for nicking a Mars bar?
It doesn't matter what the item is. It's the intention to take something. Right.
But offences have to be judged comparatively. Because if everybody got life sentence no matter what crime you committed...
Socialist, shut up and listen. Socialism, it doesn't work, all right? Socialism has been proved not to work. Now... If you nick a Mars bar, why everybody always uses a Mars bar as a rule of thumb, I have no idea. But if you just...
Mars a day helps you work, rest and play.
Yeah. If you do nick a Mars bar, then I think 10 years would be great. 20 years. Because if you nick a Mars bar and get 20 years, everyone's going to think, oh, I'm not going to do anything like that. Goodness sake, I might get more. You know, that's why I think if you nick a car and people say... You know, the police aren't even interested. Why don't we hang car thieves and then hang them outside filling stations? That'd soon put people off nicking your car, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would, wouldn't it? It would work. You'd only have to hang one or two and no one else would do it.
Well...
Come on, let's be honest. That's a good idea, isn't it?
Hang a couple of Mars bar thieves and then the world will be straight, yeah?
Yeah. Now that, you know,
will you not then
call me reactionary if you will... But tell me that won't work.
So what punishment would you deserve for hanging a guy who nicked a Mars bar?
What?
Well, that's murder, effectively, isn't it?
Don't be ridiculous. They go to court, they have their trial. What are you talking about me hanging a bloke who nicked a Mars bar?
These human rights activists will turn around and go, right, well, we're going to press charges against you for murder because all the guy did was nick a Mars bar.
Before you start pressing charges against me for human rights, you sort out Tony Blair and George W. Bush first for the millions of people whose deaths they have caused in Iraq and other areas of the world because of what they have done. All right? Thank you. What do we got here?
Just general chat in the...
Shezzy was my friend on Facebook, but somebody reported me.
Yes.
What's that about?
I don't know. They're just chatting about general stuff, not really to do with the show. I'm looking for this YouTube video of that thing in that email.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that's an interesting thing because... he's an old mate. Oh, there we are. He's an old mate of mine, and I would hate to think he got into that. So,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my golly gosh.
Let's bring it up. Is this... Can you see that?
Yeah, that is Alan Brazil.
That's him, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, what I'd like to know is how did they get that? Because that is a real infringement of your civil liberties, isn't it?
That is when somebody in the police station, I believe it'd have to be a slightly dodgy thing.
It would. I'm just watching.
Oh, look, you're even mentioned in the comments after it.
What is it? Yeah. What was the outcome of this interview? Did he get a ban? Deserves to be taught a lesson. Just we got the sack for far less. Well, you see, that's an interesting point, isn't it? That's the whole point. Can you
Look, it's not good, is it? Really?
No,
I mean,
I don't want to talk about it really because
that's not very good.
It's not fair.
It's not a good example, but then also he's a friend, so...
Yeah, and Peter Collins, and you know, you deserve to be dealt with in a way, but it all goes to show, I think, the way. Good, fine. Can we carry on and talk about something interesting now?
We can, yes.
Yeah,
do we need a break?
Yeah, we do, and I'll take a break in a minute. I'll take a break.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, but that was Peter Collins who brought that to my attention, so thank you very much indeed. Right. It's 10:15. 01243 5566. If you want to call me, if you're straight. No, sorry. No, you don't have to be straight, but if you're sensible and straight, but straight, mentally straight, not sexually straight. You can be any sort of sexuality you want. Give us a ring.
Ellington Lodge Hotel at the Concord Club, a unique place to stay. Set in quiet woodland near Lakeside Country Park, Ellington Lodge is ideally suited whether your stay is for business or pleasure. Our Mouldy Fig Wine Bar offers a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere, serving food, wines and local real ales, with live jazz music 3 nights a week and alfresco dining in the summer months. Visit our website, theconcordclub.com, for further details.
The James Whale Radio Show on PlayTwoUK with Blackadder Whiskies. Mouth-watering malt straight to your door. Visit PlayRadioUK.com and set your taste buds free.
If silence is golden, then treasure seekers need seek elsewhere. For here's one golden oldie that will never be silenced. James Whale.
Okay, welcome back. Blackadder is he's. How did you think it was Japanese, that?
I don't know.
Well, okay,
As much as I couldn't tell a Ugandan in the street, I can't tell Japanese from Chinese.
You're not very bright, are you? Let's be honest. The sign at the airport, it was in Chinese. This is from our new sponsor, Robin Blackadder. One of the translations into English for the Olympics. The thing was they used an automatic Chinese to English translation engine. The computer came up with the message, translate server error, and the person making the sign thought it was the literal translation into English, hence the rather silly sign at the airport. I think this visual, I think you've got to see that one, really, haven't you?
It says, P.S., what if it's a tube of Smarties instead of a Mars bar? Just inciting an argument now.
Yeah, no, I think that's very wise, and I think the fact that they have now put the blue Smarties back in has made everything okay. I was very upset to lose the blue Smarties, but now I'm not. Lee Cherry Skypes us from, where are you, Lee?
I'm in Brussels at the moment, James.
Are you? In Brussels?
I am indeed, yes.
And, oh God, the police are outside. What are they doing?
Oh, they're going up there pretty fast, aren't they?
Yeah, they probably...
Oh, no, it's a fire engine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Frighten the life out of it. Sorry about that, Lee. Worry over. So, did you used to call me when I was in Leeds, Lee?
I did indeed. Well, I was in Huddersfield for a while. I was studying at university, but I've got a job in Brussels now, so here I am.
Oh, have you? And what are you doing?
I'm doing IT for a lobbyist group for the European Union.
A lobbyist group?
Mm-hmm.
And what are they lobbying for?
That'd be telling, wouldn't it?
Are you not allowed to say?
I don't think so, really.
Oh, what a shame.
I know.
So how is Brussels?
It's lovely. It's boiling hot weather.
It's better than Huddersfield, isn't it?
It certainly is better than Huddersfield, yeah, I'll tell you that for now.
I mean, I did spend a few days in Huddersfield one Christmas doing pantomime, but which was all right. It was quite nice at the time. But, I mean, I think you prefer to be in Brussels.
Just a bit. I feel a bit like in a movie or something, to be honest, at the moment. It's beautiful.
What?
Brussels.
You feel like you're in a movie. What's going on with you?
Oh, just like everywhere you look, it's just politicians here, there, suits. I mean, compared to Huddersfield, this is pretty brilliant.
Now, I don't want to be rude, Lee, but I'm looking at your photograph here. Are you in drag?
I'm not in drag. My photograph on what, Skype?
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Oh, that's an old photograph. I've had Skype for about 5 years now. I'll have been about, 18 on there or something like that.
All right.
But it's a long time ago. Yeah, it's a long time ago, is that Skype photograph.
It just looks, it's a little photograph and I'm a long way away from it. It just looks like you're wearing a feather boa.
Thank you.
But I'm sure you're not.
Is there a cat on my shoulder?
Yes.
Is it a cat?
Yeah, it's a cat on my shoulder, yeah.
I thought it was a feather boa, you said.
No, let me change it. I'm going to change it now.
Have you not got a webcam?
No, not on me, no. I was kind of restricted with the luggage and all that. So.
Well, that's a shame. Because if you had a webcam, we could see you. I mean, I like it when people Skype me and they've got a webcam and I can see them.
Oh, you can do that now? Oh,
yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I mean, if you go to nttb.com...
NTTBS.
Oh, sorry, nttbs.com.
And click watch.
And click watch. You can watch the show live. You can see me picking my nose, scratching my eye.
Oh, just what I want to see.
Taking my glasses off, putting them on, sticking my tongue out, eating a Mars bar. All the sort of things, yeah, it's a rock and roll.
Lovely.
It's a rock and roll life. What are you doing?
Somebody asked if they could see the picture of...
Oh, right, here's the picture of Lee. Look, here we are.
You can't see that very well.
No. That's not very good. Let's go for a whiz round the studio slowly, like I showed you how to be a cameraman. Okay. So it won't mean anything to you, Lee, but people watching now can watch. That's quite a good shot. It's not a great shot, but it's a good shot. It's an okay. That's a good shot. Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah. No, you can't see. Now go around the studio, come around, and you can see all the bits in the studio, and you can see all the... I did ask a long time ago, and it hardly seems worth asking, if I could have a little angle poised light.
Every week I get here and look at the lights and think, oh, damn, I forgot it again.
Yeah, well, that's up to you, I suppose. So what's the situation? You staying out there for a long time, Lee, or not?
I'm here I've got a year contract at the moment,
yeah.
And see what happens after that, but... As I say, at the moment, I'm just enjoying myself. A few beers on an evening.
It's like that Belgian beer's nice, isn't it?
Oh, it's strong. I tell you that. For now.
Have you tried? Yeah, have you tried the white beer?
Probably. I can't remember. To be honest, I've had so many the past few days.
You've had so many.
Fair few.
That hardly seems worth putting the camera there, but I don't mind. I mean, if you want to just see the microphone, that's fine.
I was trying to be creative, but it didn't really work, did it?
No, it didn't. One, if you put it on the mic stand or the mic and put it back further. Well, just put it on. I'm sorry about this, Lee.
It's not a problem.
No. Let me put that down. There we are. Look. Now, if you put it up and then angle it down, you see, you'll get a high. Sorry about this, Lee. Yeah, I just noticed you're wearing a T-shirt with a woman's naked on the front.
She's not naked. She's semi-naked.
She's not naked. She's semi-naked.
Yes.
Stand it on. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. But
yeah, this is so much better than Talksport, I tell you now.
Well, it's different, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's different, but oh, for goodness, I'm sorry about this. He's messing about, really. So join us again, my friend.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah.
All right, Lee, get yourself a webcam too.
Yeah, I'll have to do that.
You'll have to do that. All right. Have you got a nice little apartment?
Yeah, I'm in a European Union apartment at the moment.
A European Union? They got their own apartments.
Yeah, you know the EC building, the big, stupid-looking one, the posh one?
Yeah.
Just opposite there, so it's all right, yeah.
And
so far, so good.
What do you do at weekends?
Drink.
You got a girlfriend?
Not in this country.
Have you got a boyfriend?
Hey, don't be stupid.
Well, just ask. I'm not. It doesn't matter to me. I just wonder. I mean, but you must have it. How long have you been there?
Since Thursday.
Oh, you've only been there since Thursday.
Literally just got here. I told you I'd phone you when I got here, so.
Yeah, all right, okay. Hey, well, listen, great, and let's talk every couple of weeks, all right? And have the ongoing saga of what it's like working for the EU in Brussels.
We'll see.
All right, mate, take it easy.
Yeah, take care. See you soon.
Bye. I'd forgotten that was Lee who phoned us and said, I just got the job, and now he's there. That's good, isn't it? Isn't it?
Very good.
Good. Excellent. Right. A couple more emails. Some long emails coming in now. You want to email us? This is the way to do it.
studio@playradiouk.com.
Do you want me to do everything all the time?
Well, no. I want you to do what you want to do, and I'll do the rest when you tell me.
Okay, good. Okay, right. Top stories in the American countdown. This is what they're talking about in American talk radio at the moment. Karl Rove, contempt case, China and the Olympics at 9. Karl Rove was at 10. 8, it's illegal immigration. At 7, Californian earthquake. 6, Tennessee church shooting. At 5, the war in Iraq. At 4, Senator Ted Stevens indictment. At 3, the mortgage bailout. At 2, gas prices. And at number 1, you guessed it, the 2008 presidential race. And here in the UK, the top 10 most talked about stories on Talk Radio. Number 10, Cadbury's relaunch the Whisper Bar. I think this is rubbish. I don't think anybody's talking about this at the moment because I think Matt just put it in to see if anybody's interested. I love the Whisper. The Whisper Bar was like the Flake, but it was covered in chocolate. And I love chocolate. Number 9, SF and DUP closer to justice deal. At 8, police and eco-protesters clash in Kent. Jail at 7 for millionaire shoplifter. 6, car tax increase, or is it? I actually think the government are going to back out on that quite rightly.
There's a story in there about that, actually, about the government now being slightly sceptical about it.
HSBC add to credit crunch concern, and the boss of the big banks is saying it's the banks who caused it, and they should have been far more careful about who they lent money to. The honeymoon tragedy, I don't think we need to even think. I mean, just the most appalling thing, those poor families now, those people who were shot dead on their honeymoon. Another man killed in a street knife attack. The state of the government at 2. Police review Dando murder case at 1. I would have thought also in there would have been the releasing of information about Madeleine McCann.
That was last week.
No, today. They've released the information today. It's a story today. And in the papers it will be tomorrow. And you will find in tomorrow some fairly
interesting... last week that they released the information to McCann.
No, they got it today. It's a story
They received it today.
Don't start on me, Matt. Please do not start on me. It was and is a story today. Will be more of a story tomorrow. And one of the main things will be in the news tomorrow, I think, that it wasn't until British police went over there that the Portuguese police decided they wanted to interview the McCanns about being involved in the case, which is going to leave egg on a few people's faces because their sniffer dogs picked up different scents. The problem was, of course, that when the sniffer dogs came in, the DNA people came in, there had been other people using the car and being in that flat.
Right.
Ridiculous situation. Absolutely ridiculous situation. Barry George, I never thought, personally, James Whale, I never thought Barry George had anything to do with the murder of Jill Dando. And I spoke at the time, a long time ago it seems now, I spoke to people at the time who also said that the evidence, the forensic evidence, very, very flimsy, and that he didn't have, he just wasn't the type to do this. The problem has been, of course, that the murder of Jill Dando appeared to a lot of people who know about these things that it was a professionally carried out assassination. You know,
people are saying that, aren't they?
Well, yes, I mean, it was done coldly, calculatedly, by somebody who just then melted away into the background. And the police, of course, found the first person they could, and because of the public feeling at the time, the jury obviously felt he'd done it. But on further looking at the evidence and with the amount of time that elapsed, people look at it and think about it more rationally. And there may be a discussion here about how safe is it to have a high-profile court case like that when everybody has been talking about it in the news. And juries, we're all going to be influenced by what we hear and see. So there's quite a lot to discuss about that, I think.
My understanding of that is that he was pretty much arrested and charged because he was a known stalker, so it's through association and not through evidence.
Yeah. Well, there was some evidence, but the evidence... the forensic evidence was, and I can't remember, and I should have read more, but I haven't had time today, is that there's residue that you can get if you've been handling guns
Yeah.
on his hands. Also, the same residue I think you can get on your hands if you've been playing cards or something
Right,
similar
so
to
it's
that.
a
So
chemical that they
there's a
use to play
chemical.
cards,
So,
yeah.
and I might be wrong, but it's something similar to that.
I think fair play to the guy for standing up and saying, actually, no, it wasn't me because I was stalking someone else.
Well, you know, stalking was the press's term. Well, I think what he was saying was interested. He was following. You know, not the brightest tool in the box. All right. Educationally, people have said this has already been said about him. His sister has said, you know, you can't lock my brother up. He's you know, not able to cope, etc., etc., etc. And the problem is that now he's lost 8 years of his life, and the police have possibly allowed the murderer to disappear. Will we ever know? Probably not, because if it was a professional job, which a lot of people said at the time, but nobody seemed to follow up, for all kinds of reasons, then nobody's going to find out. There's not going to be any evidence left, is there? What are you laughing at?
Vicky from Crawford sent you a message saying, Matt, tell James I have my wash balls on overdrive.
Excellent, darling.
You sold them on Biff.
Yeah. I'd like to see that. We'll take a break.
Are everyday items stretching your family income to the limits at the moment? Me too. Well, I found this amazing website, comparison-plus.co.uk. It's amazing. You can compare the prices of thousands of products from all the big retailers. And what's more, it's a totally free service. You don't have to become a member to use Comparison Plus. But if you do register with comparison-plus.co.uk, you get cashback rewards, giving you even bigger savings. Don't pay over the odds. Click comparison-plus.co.uk and start saving now.
Broadcasting live to the UK. News, information, entertainment, and the best music from the past 40 years. This is Play2UK. James Whale. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and unleashed. The James Whale Radio Show on Play2UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Single malt made the traditional way. Visit playradiouk.com and unlock the spirit of legend.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
Yes, the James Whale Radio Show brought to you by Blackadder Malt Whiskey. Blackadder Malt Whiskey for those of you who are connoisseurs. Raw cask single Speyside malt Scotch whiskey distilled at the Glendullan Distillery in 1994. This is 11-year-old single malt whiskey.
It's older than that. It was in a cask for 12 years before it was bottled.
Yes, it was in a cask for 12 years before it was bottled, of course. Yeah, that's how it goes.
Oh, right. I didn't know that.
Blackadder Whiskey, we're very happy to have them as a sponsor of the show, and thank you very much indeed for that. But it's whiskey, of course, that only the connoisseur can drink. We don't want people knocking it back down their necks. It's whiskey to taste. It's sipping whiskey. All right, not whiskey to go out there and get paralytic with. Thank you very much indeed. Right, welcome to the James Whale Radio Show. It is just after 10 o'clock. Nice to have you with us. I'm James Whale. I'm here, of course, Monday and Tuesday night on Play Radio UK. And if you want to join us, you know what to do. Pick up the phone, give me a ring. You can ring me at 01243 55 60 60. 01243 55 60 60. And, of course, as we're all on the internet, you can email me from wherever you happen to be listening at studio at playradiouk.com. Studio at playradiouk.com. And if you have a Skype phone, it's play.radio.uk. And if you want to get in touch, we've been talking about all sorts of stuff. I can't remember anything about it. What were we talking about? Talk about Barry George and the fact that the police, should have investigated better at the time. And now the police are saying, well, they don't... oh, gosh, I've got to get up early tomorrow. I'm just going to set my alarm. The police saying they didn't need to investigate it again because they'd come up with the same conclusion, which seems to me to be
That's what they've said?
Yeah. They said, well...
So no matter how many times they reinvestigate it, they will always think that Barry George did it?
It's more or less what they said. So, but I don't know what you can do about that, really.
I'm glad they're policing our country. Thank God for that.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Sizemore on Skype.
Do I?
Mm.
Well, in that case, excuse me.
You're still setting your alarm?
I'm just... Oh, hang on.
Do you know how to work, Matt?
Yeah. Oh, bollocks. Excuse me.
Sure?
Yeah. I've just got to change it
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the James Well Radio Show on Play2UK. Give us a call, 01243 55 60 60. You can email studio@playradiouk.com. Of course, during the week when the show's not on, so say, for instance, after midnight tonight or 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, if you'd like to email James and get it on the show, email it to james.whale@playradiouk.com. But when the show's on between 8 and midnight, studio@playradiouk.com. And Skypers, play.radio.uk. We'll take them worldwide.
Good, thank you very much indeed, Matt, producer extraordinaire. And apart from that, don't know what else I was going to say. Just before Sizemore, David Green emailed me, said, been away for a few weeks on holiday, and as I do not have a Wi-Fi radio or laptop, missed a lot of your shows. Can I still get them on podcast? Yeah, I think you can. If
Yes.
Matt does get his finger around to it.
All the shows are up on podcast.
Yeah. You get them on... what are you laughing at now?
Just an email sent in from a guy called Seamus O'Reilly, who sent you an email which was just for your view only, so I don't want you to read it out.
Oh, well, let me have a look then.
It was...
This is to... Oh, right, okay.
I believe it's an email he'd sent to somebody.
You don't want, I see why you don't want to write it out, yeah. Print it out, let me have a read.
Yes, well, he's asked that you read it out.
Been away for a few... I thought I would mention a story that was read in a newspaper whilst away that led to a heated discussion in the hotel I was staying in. Don't you hate it when you're on holiday and you get into discussion with people you've never met before in the hotel where you're staying in the hotel and they know where you live? Whilst sitting at the bar, somebody mentioned a story about a girl in New Zealand who was forced to go to court to get her name changed from Tallulah Does the Hula from Hawaii. Do you remember the story?
Yes.
A woman called Tallulah Does the Hula from Hawaii. What parent would name your daughter Tallulah Does the Hula from Hawaii?
Somebody like Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, that's a very good point. We had a few laughs about the story, but then read on to find that the girl, who was 6 or 7, had suffered bullying as a result of the stupid name her parents had given her. It must have been terrible for a girl of that age to have to resort to court action. I don't believe that a girl of 6 or 7 knows how to go to court, for a start, so something strange here somewhere. Anyway, I understand that the case is not unique, and the paper had a list of names which had been given to... which were successfully changed, and where permission was declined. See below. Allowed, Violence, Number 16 Bus Shelter, Midnight Chardonnay, Benson and Hedges for twins. Some stupid parents wanted to name twins Benson and Hedges.
Oh, it's like naming it Knox or something.
Those were allowed to be changed. Blocked, not allowed to, or those were allowed to be given. Yeah, Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit.
What? Why is that funny?
Yeah, Detroit. Woo, all right.
Would you name your kid Yeah, Detroit?
No.
Stallion.
That's not too bad.
Twisty Poi. Keenan Got Lucky. Sex Fruit.
What?
Fat Boy.
Oh, my God.
Cinderella Beauty. Oh, no, sorry. Cinderella Beauty Blossom.
Oh, dear.
And here's another good one for twins. Right?
Yep.
Here's a good one for twins. Fish and Chips.
I can't believe... Oh, dear. Well, Chris Martin named and Gwyneth Paltrow named those Apple and Moses.
Yeah.
Apple Blossom and Moses.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is totally and utterly ridiculous.
What did the Geldolfs name their children?
Oh.
Pixie Tallulah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But, and this show I was doing yesterday for on the beat, what was it, Sunday Life. They had a bloke on. I wasn't paying much attention. I should have been really, but I had a bit of a hangover. A bloke talking about names and how you become what your name is, and if you want to get better luck, you change your name to somebody who's got good luck. So I was thinking of changing my name to Rockefeller or
Yeah, Sugar.
or Sugar.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember that great record by the Archies?
Sugar, sugar.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
There's a bit of there's a bit of music.
We've got God Save the Queen to end the show on tonight.
Have we?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. Good. Well, we've and do you know, when I was watching those soldiers marching on Sunday morning through Harrogate, I felt so proud.
We should do, by law, an annual march in every city in this country
And
to
town.
celebrate the military.
Yeah, because it's not a job a lot of people would want to do, and quite often it's a job that some people have to do and have no choice. Right, let's talk to Matthew. Sizemore. We've got Sizemore again.
We do have, yes, although...
Have we not?
Okay.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter.
We now have
Matthew.
Sizemore and Matthew on the same call.
How can we do that?
Ah.
Okay, Matthew, Sizemore, hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Now that's Sizemore, sensible, but Matthew, you're sounding like a pillar.
Huh? Can you hear me?
They've got a voice changer on.
Have they?
At least they're thinking outside the box.
They're not really thinking.
Well,
in
they
or
didn't
outside
they didn't
the
ring
box.
up and fart or shout Ryan Reynolds.
Well, that's a point. I suppose that's that's an improvement. Right, okay. Who wants to go first, Matthew or Sizemore?
Sizemore.
Okay, well, Sizemore, you've been voted to lead. How are you, mate?
I'm doing very well, James. How's
Good.
yourself?
Yes, I'm very good. The later we get on the show that you call in, the more influenced by alcohol you become.
Yes, this is absolutely true. I'm an Irish.
Oh, don't you wish you could get your lips round my Blackadder?
It wouldn't last the night, Jim.
Well, it should do. Anyway, right, Sizemore, what's up? What? Go on.
I would empty it in one night. No problem.
That's the Irish for you.
Yeah. You'd suck me dry.
I would empty your bottle. I certainly would.
Anyway, that's brought the conversation to a halt. But Sizemore, it's always nice to hear...
Okay.
Go on. No?
You were talking earlier about the bins and people being fined and so on and so forth. It's time that people of the world woke up to the new world order and what is actually happening to you and me and everyone else on planet Earth.
Well,
this is a plan. They are doing it, and they've been doing it for a long, long time. I would ask your listeners and viewers to check out Iron Mountain on Google.
Iron Mountain? Yeah.
Iron.
Oh, Iron Mountain.
The metal.
Yeah.
The metal, Iron Mountain. Check it out in Google. It's 2 hours, 30 minutes. Watch it. It'll wake you up, I hope. Because we're in a police state at the moment. Martial law is just round the corner.
Yeah. No, listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, but ever since the traffic wardens have been given the new title of what I forget what it's called. Was it a protection officer? What was it? Domestic protection officers or something like that. The writing's on the wall. You're absolutely right, Sizemore. Absolutely right.
Well, James, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I hope you'll forewarn me when you get Alex Jones or Alan Watt on.
He's going to be on next week, hopefully.
Yeah, it should be good.
All right,
brilliant. Is it going to be phone in?
We might take some phone calls. If we can, we might take a couple of phone calls. Knowing Alex, he's always got so much to say with his shows. He usually doesn't take many calls. We'll see.
So it would be better to an email.
Send an email, yeah. All right, take it easy, matey. Let's talk to Matthew.
Good evening, James.
Yes, Matthew, how are you? Well, I can tell, Matthew, obviously you're very well.
I have a question.
You have a question? Oh, right, okay.
Yes. What colour was your P45?
Do you know, I've never seen it. I don't know.
That was it. He's waited all that time to ask that question and then hang up.
All right,
Well,
okay.
that's-
What colour are P45? So they...
I can tell you, I believe they're light purple and green.
Oh, right, okay.
I've had lots of them.
Have you really?
Oh, yes.
I should know where mine is, shouldn't I, really?
It would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Should they have sent
Otherwise
it
you
to
get
me? They
emergency
should have
tax.
sent it to me,
They
shouldn't
should.
they?
Otherwise
Yeah.
you get emergency tax, don't you, when you
Yeah.
start your next full-time job
Yeah.
or whatever.
Well, never mind. Right. Thank you to... thank you to John... thank you to Seamus. Female. I didn't see the reply, though. Did you get a copy of that?
Got the reply, what did you
Yeah.
mean? Oh, no, he didn't send the reply.
Oh, what a shame.
He just sent that, yeah.
I'd like to have seen that. Right, okay, let's move on. There's a call coming in from, goodness only knows where. Hello, the James Whale Radio Show. You're on the air, live. Oh, dear, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock comes and...
You know that's caller, don't you?
I know that's caller. I told you that last week, didn't I? I told you that last week. Phil Steer has sent me an email. He said, James, I don't think many people thought that Barry George was ever the killer of Jill Dando. He was just a simple guy that the police hounded to get a conviction due to the pressure they were put under at the time. The police now will never catch the real killer or killers. Phil, do you know, this echoes the sentiment of so many people. And it begs the question of how safe are a lot of the convictions in this country. And it seems like a lot of other countries we're very critical of. It seems to me that our justice system, on the one hand, people who carry knives and stab people and beat people up go to prison for very little. It seems also that people who go to... do you want to go and grab that for me? Because I can't be bothered to take idiots anymore. Also, well, we're going to get our phone up to answer the calls, because otherwise it just...
It was obviously an idiot because they've hung up straight away.
Yeah, I don't, you know...
We'll keep Ross in there screening the calls.
Yeah,
now.
sit in there, Ross, because quite frankly your BO is beginning to get on my nerves.
Just,
he didn't hear.
No, sit in
Tell
there
him.
and just wake some calls, take some names down on lines and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And Ross, turn the light out, it's too bright. It's much better if it's dark in there, isn't it? Looks much better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I might go and do that one outside, actually.
Yeah, do that one
Shall I
too.
go and do that?
Yeah. Then we can see outside. If you turn the light out in the corridor, make it nice and dark in here, it'll get a bit sexier. And it's at that time of night. So anyway, back to Barry George. It seems to me that they went for this very easy conviction, and I don't know, but I think Barry George hopefully deserves quite a large payout. 8 years of his life taken away from him, and he will never be the same person again. Which I think is absolutely tragic. If you've got a point you want to bring up, or if you want to say something about that, email me, studio@playradiouk.com. And if you found us for the first time tonight, the James Whale Radio Show, now broadcasting live on the internet Mondays and Tuesdays. And you can hear us here through Play Radio UK. You can pick me up on my own website. Maybe some of you are listening there at jameswhaleradio.com, which is good. And Phil Steer is back. Did I just read this from Phil Steer or not?
Oh, I don't know.
An old friend of mine whose surname was Warrior. His parents named the poor bastard Roman. He got a rough ride at school most of the time. Roman Warrior. That's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the name Roman isn't a bad name.
Abramovich thought so.
Oh, well, I used to DJ at a nightclub for a guy who used to promote nights called Roman.
You keep going on about that, don't you?
Yeah. When are you going to get a gig with Stringy?
Stringy's on holiday at the moment. I haven't
That's your
forgotten.
excuse this week.
No. This is Patricia. Yeah, all the best. New venture, best wishes to you, Mrs. Whale from Pack. That's nice, Pat. Thank you very much. Now this is Anthony Witchell. I'll do Anthony Witchell in a minute. Right. So if you want to ring, 01243 55 60 60. Who's taking the calls?
Ross over there.
Should we call him Rosalind?
Rosalind's fine, yeah.
Yeah. Or Rachel? Listen, Rachel.
No, not Rachel. I went out with a girl called Rachel.
Did you?
Yeah, she was just a bit weird.
Was she?
Yeah. Oh, Rachel probably fits then.
I think Rachel's good, yeah. Phone in and talk to Rachel first, then come on the air and have a chat with me. 01243 55 60 60, or email me at studio at PlayRadioUK, all one word, .com. See you right after this.
Play2UK headlines.
Hollywood actor Morgan Freeman has been seriously hurt in a car crash. He's being treated at a hospital in Memphis after being airlifted from the scene in Mississippi. The prime suspect in the murders of a British honeymoon couple in Antigua is being questioned for a second time. Beach vendor Clarence James, who's also known as Cloud, is thought to have befriended Ben and Catherine Mulani during their holiday. A retrial is to be held for 3 men accused of helping the July the 7th bombers. Wahid Ali, Sadr Salim and Mohammed Shakil, who were all from Beeston in Leeds, are accused of checking out London tourist attractions for possible attacks. And a new era has begun in English cricket. Kevin Peterson's been appointed as captain of both the Test and one-day sides.
Play2UK weather.
I never knew whether it's a news story about some blokes now the captain of the England cricket team. Is that a news story or not? Maybe you'll tell me. Weather showers will die away tonight, leaving most places dry with clear spells. However, locally, heavy rain across Cornwall will move slowly northeastwards across southern parts of both England and Wales. And tomorrow looks good, humid and often wet. Well, it's sort of, be like being on holiday. Humid and wet across Wales and central and southern England. Mainly dry with sunny intervals further north, although patchy rain will edge into Northern Ireland and northwestern England later.
Parents give lots of reasons why they keep smoking when they have a newborn baby.
It's just so stressful, what with the crying and the lack of sleep and everything.
Well, my parents smoked when I was a baby, and I'm alright.
But there are lots more reasons why you should stop. Because smoking around your baby doubles the chance of them dying from cot death. That's why the NHS offers free support to new mothers and their partners who want to quit smoking.
We're so glad we quit, for her sake.
Yeah, it's been good for us too.
For help and support to go smoke-free, call the NHS Pregnancy Smoking Helpline on 0800 169 9169 or visit www.nhs.uk/go-smoke-free.
The James Whale Radio Show on Play2UK with Blackadder Whiskies for discerning drinkers the world over. Visit us at PlayRadioUK.com and discover the pure spirit of legend.
James Whale. They can take the man off the radio, but they can't take the voice off air.
Okay, he's back. Who? James Whale. Right, he's back. This is from Anthony Witchell. I was going to mention this before, and here we go. My sister was approached by some nasty person in a subway and asked to perform a horrible act. He then proceeded to grab her and try to drag her down the tunnel. Bystanders alerted the community officers who were chatting nearby. They approached the man, who promptly feigned a pain in his leg, as if my sister, a 5'3" blonde girl, had attacked him. They then took the sick nutter's word for it and asked him if he wanted to press charges. My sister was in shock and couldn't believe the situation. She phoned her boss, who came straight to the scene and defended her against them. By the time the real police arrived, the man had calmly walked off with no pursuit made by these two pillocks. The real police apologised profusely and insisted the community officers would be punished for their uselessness. But that sick ... is still at large and maybe even encouraged to do it again. A lot of people are talking about forming vigilante groups to counter the lack of real policing on the streets. Shouldn't have to happen, but it may have to. Well, Anthony, I hope not. That's a depressing email, and I have to admit that I have no faith in the so-called plastic bobbies, the community support officers. As far as I can see, they have absolutely no use whatsoever. I might, of course, be in the minority. Maybe you will. You will let me know. Sorry, just reading an email from Dean, who says her story is the British Air Force have bombed a television centre in Belgrade, the capital of then Yugoslavia, now Serbia. They killed makeup ladies and journalists. They did so without warning and in defiance of international law. He said, I see, right. Well, there is I don't know what that has. Oh, I see, yeah. there are certain people who thought a Serbian hit squad carried out Jill Dando's assassination in retaliation for an attack. You may remember the story. British Air Force bombed a television centre in Belgrade and killed makeup ladies, tea ladies, and a journalist. You may remember this happened during the war there. And there are a number of people who think that a Serbian hit squad carried out Jill Dando's assassination in retaliation for the attack. This has been voiced by many people. Also, that Jill Dando had done an appeal on behalf of refugees from that part of the world, and that may well have been the situation too. These stories apparently were investigated by the police, although how the police would be able to investigate something like that, I have no idea. Good, thank you very much indeed. Thank you to Seamus as well for sending that back. Now, listen, you want to get on tonight. If you have just found us, then the James Ware Radio Show here, we take phone calls. It is going to be a lot easier for you to get on than it used to be, because this is a new way of broadcasting. There are... Matt, don't make tea like it. Oh, Matt!
What?
Oh, you disgusting... Well, I don't know where you're... He's just made a cup of tea. He's taken the tea bag out and squeezed it between his fingers.
I pushed the tea bag onto the spoon.
With your finger?
They're clean.
How do I know that?
You just washed your bloody mug.
Oh, Matt, I've watched you go to the toilet. You never wash your hands afterwards.
When did you watch me go to the toilet and I shall have the police investigate that?
You can try. Oh, dear, Matt. I've taught you how to make tea before. So what was I saying? So listen, if you're listening, we need some calls, because we can't rely on the army of addicted and regular callers. So your time when we start off a talk radio station online like this is we need to get callers phoning in who wouldn't nearly. Right? Who wouldn't really? Do you see what I mean? Silence, great thing, isn't it?
Are you talking to me?
No, it's a great thing. It's a great thing, silence.
I'm worried then.
I know. I just want to see how long it would be before you paid attention. Right, so if you haven't done it before, pick up the phone, give us a ring. 01243 55 60 60. The other story I was talking about earlier was this story, and I just mentioned it again, seeing that we're in a new hour of the show. Families who put out too much rubbish are to face bigger fines than shoplifters. Guidance sent to local councils suggests that on-the-spot fines of £75 to £110 for people who put out wheelie bins so full their lids cannot close. Often, my wheelie bin, because I only get it emptied every 2 weeks, I don't recycle. I haven't got time for that. If I wanted to put my hands into shit, I'd get a different job. You know, why would I want to sort the rubbish out? I throw things in the bin, goes into the bin.
I thought we paid our council tax to have people do that for us.
Exactly. Well, what are we paying for? What do these people do that come around and drop rubbish all over your front path when they're picking up your wheelie bin? Obviously. But apparently, if you and I put out too much rubbish, we're now going to be fined. I'd like to see this happen. I will guarantee this. When they start handing fines out to those of us who've put too much rubbish in, I guarantee the civil unrest will start. Now, if government informed the stupid people who run our town halls, and let's face it, they are, because who really is interested in becoming a local councillor? Would you do it? I wouldn't want to do it, no. And the people who do it can't get jobs anywhere else, can they? They're unemployable. Do you know a councillor who does anything else, much?
No, not really.
Local councillors. So anyway, I can't wait to see. Eric Pickles has, the Tory MP who's in charge of local government, says it's creating an army of municipal bin bullies hitting law-abiding families with massive fines while professional criminals get the soft touch. The Environmental Department yesterday said fixed penalty notice fines are an alternative to prosecution. Mind your own bloody businesses and allow us to get on with living our lives. You can't catch the murderers, you can't catch the rapists, you can't catch the robbers. Why don't you stop messing about with ordinary people's lives, which is what they are doing? Ultimately, the fines are there to act as a deterrent. I'm not going to... What, we're just going to let the rats come now, are we? Mr. Pickles said it's clear bureaucrats are instructing town halls to target householders with fines. Of course, the problem is, this government has wasted our money. This government has spent more tax money on unnecessary waste than any other government ever. Do you get your local town hall's propaganda sheet? You're paying for it. Our MPs are obviously milking the system dry. And this will be the last thing. You know, when we start getting people coming to our homes, knocking on our doors and saying, we'd like you to pay £75 or £110 because you filled your wheelie bin too full, I think that will be the last straw. I seriously do. I think it'll be the last straw. Yet, with the death of weekly collections, it is hard for families to dispose of rubbish. It's unfair householders are now getting larger fines. I think we have to fight back against this, guys. Councils have been criticised over harsh measures. The Daily Mirror started its Another Rubbish Decision campaign to highlight their madness earlier this year. Cardiff bus driver Gareth Corkill was given a criminal conviction after being taken to court when he refused to pay £110 on-the-spot fine by inspectors who found the lid of his wheelie bin open by 4 inches. My wheelie bin's always wide open, and you can all stuff yourselves from local government. You can all go and swivel on my little finger. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Right, okay. Chris West thinks Tommy Boyd and I should do a show together. I don't know they could afford us to do a show together, really. The amount of moaning that Matt does. What else?
I don't moan.
You don't want me to mention all that, do you, really? At the top? No. What?
What at the top? Mention what?
Me on the other station? No.
Well,
other people can. Well,
it's all over the internet.
I know. Yeah. We've made a pact, and they want me to go and do a few shows for them on LBC, and I'm more than happy to do it. So everybody knows. David Green says, not heard from Patrick Moore for some time. I hope he's okay. Remember that he used to be a regular on the show. Shall I try and get him on tomorrow?
Yeah.
Sir Patrick Moore? Let's try and do that. Remind me of that. Yeah, you hold on to that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yes, I will be off doing LBC for a week. And Tommy Boyd and Ian Lee and Tommy Boyd. Ian Lee and Tommy Boyd will be here. You know, get all the best people here. Of course. Matt, of course, won't be working with them. He won't be allowed.
I am working.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, sorry, you're not.
I'm not allowed?
No, not allowed. You just work for me.
Well, I think...
You'll have to come with me. Wherever I go, you have to come.
Okay.
I'm doing a show from Barbados in a couple of weeks. Actually, I was thinking I need a new wardrobe person
We're doing a show from Barbados?
Yeah.
In that case, yes.
Yeah, I knew you would. Yeah, I was thinking I need a new person to look after my wardrobe for Bid TV.
Oh.
You could do that. A lot of girls then. A lot of girls then.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about this. You know the car tax that's going to go up? Ford Fiesta, okay? 1.2p Z-Tech Climate. You don't get charged at all. No increase. BMW 3 Series, 2 litre, you're going to get another £18. Ford Focus, that bloke in there is useless. The James Whale Radio Show, hello, you're on the air. Hello? Hello. Nobody there. Why doesn't that work?
It should do. You answered it before Ross had the chance.
Yeah, because he's bloody dreaming. You see, if you want people to work properly, don't get people in for nothing. Because you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
He's sitting in there ringing his girlfriend.
What?
Yeah. He's not even bothered about you.
Girlfriend?
Hello? Anybody there? Oh, I don't think phones are working now. The Vauxhall Zafira, okay, 1.6. That's a small car, isn't it?
Yes,
Vauxhall Zafira 1. You're going to pay an extra £35 for your car tax on this. A Land Rover Freelander, which I happen to have one of those, 2.2. Right, that's a four-wheel drive car, quite a big one.
Yeah.
You're going to pay an extra 60 quid.
Is that it?
I'm not going to pay it. I'm not going to pay it. I am flipping fed up with being ripped off by these poxy politicians. I'm fed up with it. Now, apparently, and none of them are going to get their jobs back, and they're beginning to realise it, and take it from one who knows that you... am I answering this or you? Who's doing these phones?
Ross has answered it. That's all right. And then when it starts flashing, I think it's purple, then it's ready to be taken.
Yeah, I'll tell you when it starts flashing purple. When it starts flashing purple, you need to get some doctor to look at it. To be honest with you.
He's not meant to sit there and make nice with them. He's meant to just say, yes, I'll put you on hold.
Fed up with it. I'm getting fed up with it. We don't want them to stop driving, but we want them to choose a greener car. Who the flipping heck do these bastards think they are? The committee report entitled Vehicle Excise Duty as an Environmental Tax said the idea was a step in the right direction. Is it bollocks? But it did criticise some aspects of the changes, including the way they were presented in the small print of this year's budget. And the cost difference between tax bands was still not enough to make the public buy cleaner models. So now I'm going to get a fine on the spot for putting too much rubbish in my wheelie bin. And if I don't buy the car that the government tells me I must buy, I'm going to get taxed as well. Is it worth living in this country anymore? Labour ex-minister Peter Kilfoyle, a strong opponent of the changes, said if it taxes ownership, it doesn't tax usage. So if you're actually trying to have a really big impact on consumption of oil and all the problems that go with it, you have to look at fuel tax and not road tax. Oh yeah, put the fuel tax up, Kilfoyle. Put that up some more as well. No. What? What are you pointing at?
Put your tater down.
Oh, that one there?
Yeah.
Why?
We now have Sizemore on Skype.
Do we?
Yes.
We've had him on Skype. He could hardly talk last time.
He was kind of on with Matthew, wasn't he?
He wasn't on with Matthew last time. He was on himself. Sizemore. See, he's not there. He's halfway through a bottle of malt whiskey.
He isn't there, is he?
No, he's not there. I wish you'd stop doing that, right? Okay, so how much more? Chair, this is the government plans to increase car tax for gas guzzling vehicles should be bolder to increase the environmental impact, MPs say. The Environmental Audit Committee's official report backs the move as a step in the right direction, but Chairman Tim Yeo, that's the end of his bloody political career, said the benefit of the environment would be limited and called for more ambitious changes. 5 members wrote a separate report calling the plan retrospective taxation because it put a new tax on old cars. Look, guys, there's going to be a general election fairly soon. This is not something I could say, of course, on... Well, I could say, as long as... They're gonna call a general election. Now, if the Labour Party continue to fight amongst themselves and say they want a different leader, who would, of course, expect to be Prime Minister, there is never going to be a chance for the Labour Party to change Gordon Brown until they have an election. And that's the stupid thing, because I don't believe the people of this country will tolerate having another Prime Minister unelected foisted on them. We have one now, Gordon Brown. Gordon Brown, bless him, is unable to do the job. He doesn't have the communication skills that a Prime Minister needs. A Prime Minister needs now to be able to engage, although we hated Blair because he was so smug with it, but needs to be able to engage with the media. Gordon Brown would have made a great Prime Minister, possibly in the days before TV and radio. Some of those legendary Prime Ministers if they'd had the sort of media they have today, would never have been selected as leaders of their parties. I don't suppose for one moment, and I think Gordon Brown is suffering from that. But there is no way that the Labour Party could get away with changing their leader and giving us another unelected Prime Minister. So I think that there's going to be a general election sooner rather than later. And I think when the general election comes, I implore everybody to do this, to go out and vote for somebody other than your local MP. And it'll be difficult for some of you who, some places, some MPs do a good job. But unless we're going to really frighten the life out of them, every single member of the House of Commons has to be voted out at the next general election. It might not be any better. I'm not saying it's going to be any better, but at least it'll wake the buggers up. So please remember, at the next general election, vote for somebody in your area that is not your current MP, and so that every member of Parliament would suddenly change. Right, what do you think? Email us email us at studio@playradiouk.com. James, have you got your new dishwasher yet? I've been reading Mrs. Wales' diary, and I fear Mrs. Wales is getting quite vexed over the matter. She is getting vexed over the matter, no. But she has been sent a credit note from British Gas to half the value of her dishwasher. And she's not happy about that either. And so it continues. And also, every couple of hours the other day, we got a phone call, and it was from somebody from British Gas trying to sell us something. And in the end, I got on and I was very abusive about... I said, you've put the price up 35%. Oh, well, that's nothing to do with us. We're a different department. I said, well, you know what you can do? You take your gas and you stick it where the sun don't shine. The bloke said, these calls are recorded. I said, I couldn't give a well, I won't tell you what I said. He said, well, we could prosecute you for that. I said, good, you send the coppers round. I'm not bothered. I can't believe it. I mean, British Gas, I can't believe British Gas is still in business. Is anybody seriously still doing business with British Gas? Mind you, if they want to sponsor the show, as well as the Blackadder single malt whiskey, I'm quite happy. What are you doing there?
Me?
Yeah.
Somebody just asked if the show had gone off air, and I've just checked the servers, and we're fine.
Are we?
Yes.
Yeah, we've had a lot of technical problems from different...
No, I think it's the people having technical problems. We're all fine this end.
Mm-hmm. What?
That's it.
Oh, right.
We're all fine this end.
Okay. In that case, I'll take a short break.
Okay.
Do you mind?
No, I don't mind.
Okay. 01243 55 66. You want to get on the air, that's all you have to do. Ring that number. And Rosalind has brought me some more emails. If you want to email us, you know the address. studio@playradiouk.com. See you after this.
Ellington Lodge Hotel at the Concord Club, a unique place to stay. Set in quiet woodland near Lakeside Country Park, Ellington Lodge is ideally suited whether your stay is for business or pleasure. Our Mouldy Fig Wine Bar offers a comfortable, relaxed atmosphere, serving food, wines and local real ales, with live jazz music 3 nights a week and alfresco dining in the summer months. Visit our website, theconcordclub.com, for further details.
The James Whale Radio Show on PlayTwoUK with Blackadder Whiskies award-winning single malt. Visit PlayRadioUK.com and have the pure spirit of legend delivered to your door.
James Whale. They can take the man off the radio, but they can't take the voice off air.
Yes, well, no. Don't forget my blogs. You can still download the blogs if you go to jameswhaleradio.com. If you go to my website at jameswhaleradio.com, which tells you where I am, what I'm doing, and also naked photographs of my wife. But you've got to be clever to find those. You can also read Mrs. Wales' diary, which talks about mostly our private life, but there we are. Now, Peter's back on with another email, and this is about Jill Dando, and he says, at the time of the murder of Jill Dando, we was at war with Yugoslavia, and a radio station in Belgrade got bombed by NATO, which innocent people got killed. So the theory that a Serbian hitman killed Gildando in revenge for the bombing of that radio station in Belgrade, which involved the RAF, must be obvious because it just looked like a professional hit. But think on this, James. Barry George spent 8 years in prison, an innocent man. Just think, if the jury did find him guilty again, an innocent man would have spent the rest of his life in prison, and that would have been convenient for the police to put a close to the murder of Gildando. I have a funny feeling the police and the security forces always knew that Gildando was killed by a professional hitman from Yugoslavia, and Barry George was just the fall guy in a dirty war from Peter from Birmingham. I hope that that's completely wrong. I hope nobody actually did know that. And I suppose, to be charitable, once it was a very high-profile case, and people were running around just trying to find a solution. What worries me, things like that, everybody is gung-ho, if you like, to find something, and this... Nobody... I was on the air. We were talking, obviously, as much as you could talk about a case which was active at the time. I never got the feeling anybody really considered that Barry George did it. Experts that were interviewed, particularly in the media, had said, no, they thought this was a job that was professionally carried out and professionally done. Not the sort of thing that somebody could have done just, on the off chance. But the police thought they knew better. And the problem as well with forensics, when they get this is the similar thing with the McCann's case, that and I'm sure this will be all over the papers tomorrow, that the McCanns were linked with the the missing of their child. Well, they were linked with having something to do with it after Britain's forensic people had gone over there. The problem is the forensics and the dogs went in long time after everything happened. And also, they're more than happy to admit, and say, oh, well, we never said it was definite. It's just, just bits. And then after this is the interesting thing in the legal cases now in this country. How many so-called expert witnesses over the last 10 years or so have been found to be talking out of their arses? A number, a large number. It's not all like CSI and NICS, is it? Much as I love those programs, by the way. And why didn't ITV get those? Why did Channel 5 realise they were the sort of programs that wanted... Anyway, I mean, it's not an exact science. That seems to be the problem. And I think it's a great sadness that we have been, in a way, conned into thinking that, as soon as a forensic person says, oh, yes, this happened, and then you get some of these expert witnesses on, the juries are led to believe that, well, this must be right. And hopefully judges are now beginning to realise that quite often expert witnesses could and should be questioned more vigorously. Mark Reed, thank you for your email, Mark. He says, the bin fine idea is crazy. This will only encourage fly tipping, and some people will be fined because somebody has palmed their rubbish onto others by stacking extra bags on other people's bins to avoid the fine whilst the innocent party receives the fine instead. Mark, this is obvious to you and me. It's not so obvious to the bloody pillocks who become politicians, local or national. Mark says they will listen when fining you when you're explaining the rubbish was not yours. I doubt it. The revolution is around the corner. This bin fine thing will affect everybody no matter how careful you are with your rubbish. This type of thing happens now in my area. It looks like I have to camp outside my front door the night before my bin is empty to avoid getting other people's rubbish plus a fine. Mark in Derby. It's a really good point, Mark. A really, really good point. The politicians think nothing through. And it seems to me that the people who are now becoming civil servants are getting younger and younger. We're getting people in the civil service who come straight from university who have absolutely no life experience whatsoever. And I think this is a worry, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Shout if you agree.
I wouldn't dare be a civil servant or a counsellor at the age of 29 because I haven't had half the experiences in order to set me up to be able to tell other people how to run their lives best.
And don't we know it?
Oh.
Ooh! The DUP and Sinn Féin have signalled that they are moving towards a deal on devolving policing and justice powers from Westminster to the Northern Ireland Assembly. That's good news, I think. Sweet memory. Let's talk a bit about sweet memories, because you did loads of research on this. I haven't done it yet. Every time he answers a phone call, we never get it on the air. Have you noticed that? Because does he talk them out of it, or what?
Well, okay, I'd like to say this. The other call that you had on earlier, we couldn't figure out what was going on, was some lady ringing up when you were asking when you were going to be on the other station for that week.
Yeah.
Now, we're not a public information service. If you want to call up and be involved with the show, then fine, but don't call up to ask about James's own life and dealings and business. If you listen to the show, I'm sure he'll tell you.
Go on to my website, jameswellradio.com. Right, listen, you can't blame. Listen, they want more of me. You could afford to pay me more.
I can't.
No, well, shut up then.
I work for free.
Well, I know you do. Sweet memories. No more than 3 children at a time, please. Oh, dear. Let's talk about this. The Amazing Raisin Bar. I didn't like that. I have to admit that I didn't like the Amazing Raisin Bar, so I don't mind. Aztec. Do you remember the Aztec? Cadbury's incorrect raisin-addled answer to the Mars bar. A simple concept that just didn't last. The Aztec bar. It didn't taste of anything, did it? Bandit. I like the Bandit. Bog standard wafer biscuit with Bill Oddie's Gringo advert. I like the Bandit bar. That was good. What?
Uncle.
Yeah, I know. I just wondered what you two were discussing in there.
Just making sure it was a decent phone call.
Oh, I see. You're a decent phone call, eh? Who is it? It would be very professional if I had the name and I could say hello to so-and-so.
I said, what's the name? He went, oh, I didn't ask.
Do you know, I'm getting flipping fed up with the pair of you. You two amateur bastards. I really am. It's beginning to annoy me. If you don't get your bloody act together... What is your name?
Hi, my name's Chris.
Chris. Okay,
yes.
Chris. Hi, Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. It's beginning to annoy me intensely now. It's too bloody late now, you great big girl. Golly.
You'll have to have Ash to work with you, James.
I don't know which is worse.
Now.
I don't know which is worse. I don't know if I could stand the smell of smoke again. Anyway, where are you, Chrissy?
Well, we actually live in Chichester, actually, James.
Oh, I'll pop round for a coffee then.
Oh, you'll have to, yeah. We used to listen to you all the time on TalkSport, and we was really cheesed off, you know, when suddenly you're not with them anymore. And
not half as cheesed off as I was, but...
yeah, I can imagine. And our local newspaper, we actually saw that you're now broadcasting from Ford.
You see? Advertising.
What? Advertising, yeah, but the problem is it's such a bad photograph. I just didn't like the photograph.
Oh.
But never mind, doesn't matter. Yeah.
No, that's right. It doesn't matter at all, does it?
No.
It was just good that people like us and hopefully hundreds of your other followers might, you know, get to know where you now are broadcasting from and be on the phone to you as well, James.
Oh, good. Are you online so you can listen?
Yes, we are. My partner's in the other room, actually, so we're listening, you know, obviously tonight. And obviously one of the topics that you was on about was all this, the rubbish and the fines that that's going to be imposed on what's going to go in your rubbish bins. Well, we've just returned from Spain. Friends live out there, and you probably know all this anyway, but they pay £60-odd a year rates, and their bins are emptied every day.
Every day?
Every day. And I was wondering what kind of, EU country we are in, you know.
We're in a country which is governed by tits. That's what we're in at the moment. And, you know, in France, where I spend a lot of time, they pick up your rubbish twice a week.
Yeah.
And if that day they pick up falls on New Year's Eve or Christmas Day or something else, they still pick it up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, our friends were saying every day, you know, it's just like picked up, and they don't have to like have a recycle bin for this and a recycle bin for that.
No.
You know, that they just put it all in one bin and it's taken away, and that's that, you know, and they pay, as I say, £60 a year council tax.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, there we go. Just thought I'd phone in to say
Well, it's like rubbing salt into the wound, isn't it, really, Chris?
Absolutely.
It's like rubbing salt into the wound.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
It's like, it's giving traffic wardens and councillors and all the people that make our, normally law-abiding citizens, these people seem to be going out of their way to turn us into criminals.
I know. This is it. It just is so infuriating. And it's nice that there's people like you that, can sort of like speak their mind on the radio, and so many of us totally agree with what you're saying. And it's a shame you can't, be our, Prime Minister, James.
Oh, no, don't wish that on me, please. Please, I'm aging enough as it is. Once you become Prime Minister, that's it.
But you are the voice of the people.
I'm the voice of reason. Yeah, Chris, you're right. So listen, how far away from you am I sitting in this studio at the moment?
Well, we're actually in a place called Drayton, which is just outside of Chichester. I would say probably from here to Ford it would take about 20 minutes drive, that's all.
God, isn't that funny the way things are?
Yeah. So,
and
keep up the good work.
Have you clicked onto the webcam so you can watch?
Yeah, okay.
Have you done that?
Oh, no, I haven't yet. No, I've gone out and I'll have to do that.
Well, get him to go to nttbs.com.
Right, I'm writing that down.
N for Noddy.
Yeah, TBS.
TT, two T's.
Oh, right, TT. Yeah.
1B, 1S. .com.
Right.
And when you get there, click on Watch.
Okay.
And wave to me. All right.
Well, I might not do that. Just,
go on. Just have a
wave. It now, shall I?
Yeah, go and click on. Tell me if you can see it. Go on. I want to see if it's working.
Let me just see. Hold on.
There we are.
MTB. Right.
Do you like the jewellery I'm wearing tonight? Do you think?
Oh no, we can't get onto it. My partner's just said it's crashed.
Oh well, it might be full because there's only a limited amount of space on there.
Okay.
So if you keep trying, and then ring me back and let me know.
Okay then, James.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
Bye, Chris.
Have a good work. Bye.
Bye. Give us a call. Do it again. 01243 01243 55 60 60. Ring that number, and we'll have a chat. Back to this Blue Ribboned. Oh, hang on. Before Blue Ribbon, Bar 6. You remember Bar 6? That was nice. Like Kit Kat. I like Bar 6. I thought that was Bar 6 was good. Blue Ribbon was one of my favourites. Some people have described it here as a dull chocolate wafer. But I thought Blue Ribbon was nice because you had a lot of crunch in there. A lot of crunch in there. Can you remember anything you remember with... And Fry's chocolate cream. Does anybody... It was my grandfather's favourite, the Fry's chocolate cream with the mint inside. The plain chocolate with the mint. Do you remember that? That was one of my favourites.
Even when I was a child, it was more of the older
a grown-up
thing.
The grown-up thing. Yeah. Fredo, small thin Cadbury's dairy milk bars with cartoon. Oh yeah, I didn't like that. What else we got here? Licorice. I love licorice. You don't see much licorice anymore, do you?
I hate licorice.
Mint cracknel. Chocolate-covered shards of mint-flavoured car windshield. Made in two separate halves. That was nice. That was very, very nice indeed. What else we got here? Skippy, I don't remember that. Space Dust, no. This is all after me, I think. Stripper, no. Texan, no. I only like chocolate, you see.
I bet you were a fan of Pontefract cakes, weren't you?
No, I didn't like that.
Oh, okay.
No. But I do. Listen, Bandit was good. I like Bandit. I like Blue Ribboned. I liked... I didn't like Aztec. I didn't like the Amazing Raisin Bar. Bar 6 I liked. Fry's chocolate I like. I didn't like the Turkish Delight one. I'm not a huge Turkish Delight fan. Thank you, Gertrude. And Goldmine, which was kind of like crunchy. but
yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't like that. Yeah. So, any favourite?
Caramel Whisper was my favourite.
Caramel Whisper, that's quite nice, but I like Whisper.
Yes.
The old-fashioned, the bog-standard Whisper, I like that.
Especially if you had it in the fridge, got it very cold, and then you could grate it with your teeth into fine bits of chocolate.
Yeah, all chocolate should be cold. All right, David Green says, on this subject, see attachment, a story from Sky News' website. Is this a series? What a joke. No, so I can't find... Where's the attachment?
Oh, right, I see.
Why does Pillock features in there not read the emails before he brings them in? And then he could find the attachment.
Okay, that's my fault, I've got to say.
No, it's not. Blame him.
Ross. That's ridiculous,
That's it,
Ross.
Yeah.
I'll get someone else in tomorrow to shadow me.
Sorry, rubbish at IT. Try the link before.
Okay, there we go.
Have you got that? What?
Cops go electric.
Yeah. Police force has taken delivery of a milk float-style electric car to help community cops. Isn't that ridiculous? Eh? That is the most ridiculous thing I've seen. And it's only going to be... it's got top speed of 30 miles an hour, and it's being trialled by Brighton and Hove Police. So that means it's on the roads around here, doesn't it? It will enable neighbourhood officers to travel around the city to attend street briefings and make local visits. It'll just make them look more pillocks than they already are. That's all it is.
Well, they've got a lot of gay policemen in Brighton, I imagine.
Have they?
That'll suit
Okay.
them down to the ground. Get them a pink one, they'll be right at home.
With its full Sussex police livery, that'll be impressive, and large storage space, the two-seater gem cars are already used in the United States by police forces in New York, Los Angeles and Miami. Right, the gem car. The world's gone mad. Absolutely mad. Thanks, David, for that. Keith Williams says, just to let you know how we could get your show on the move. Oh, this is interesting. By using the iPhone 3G, using a little application that gives you internet radio. The program's called Tuner, and it costs me a couple of quid on the Apple apparatus store. If anybody's interested, I'm really pleased as I can now listen in the car without having to depend on podcasts. Keep up the excellent work. Let's hope these bloody politicians get unstuck on all their environmental taxation sooner rather than later. Keith from Lichfield. Good one, Keith, who's driving around the country listening to the show at the moment. So he gets the iPhone 3G using a little application which comes from the Apple apparatus store. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Good. Well, that's a good one, isn't it? We should be telling people to do that.
We should be telling people to do that, yes.
Yeah.
We shouldn't.
What?
You've been able to do this on Nokias and stuff for some time now. It's just about bringing people up to date with the technology and stuff. A lot of people think, I don't want to learn the technology. Or,
well, you have to in the end. Look at me. Seamus O'Reilly's being funny now. James, I've heard that you have a book out. Is this true? If so, what's it called and where can I get it? Thank you, Seamus. Nice. Seamus must be my biggest advertising. It's called Almost a Celebrity, A Lifetime of Nighttime. And soon, the paperback version is coming up.
Am I in
an extra
it?
chapter.
You've got an extra chapter in it. Am I in it?
You might be.
I've got to buy it and read it, yeah?
Yeah, you've got to buy it and read it. That's all there is to it.
Here at Play Radio UK, we're dedicated to providing you with a fully interactive website and music service. Choose from 11 stations playing all kinds of music 24 hours a day. While away the hours with loads of games in the playground. Interact with other users and find answers to all your technical problems in the forums. Find out who's on when, what we're up to and what we look like. Although some of us are more photogenic than others. PlayRadioUK.com. Internet radio, your way. Broadcasting live to the UK. News, information, entertainment, and the best music from the past 40 years. This is Play2UK. James Whale. Call 01243 55 60 60. Email studio@playradiouk.com. Skype play.radio.uk. Live and unleashed. The James Whale Radio Show on Play2UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Mouth-watering malt straight to your door. Visit playradiouk.com and set your taste buds free.
James Whale. silence was never an option.
Right. Had a little hiatus there. I pulled the wire out of my headphone in it. Luckily Matt is technically gifted. Not gifted anything else, but technically he's gifted and managed to stick it back in, so to speak. And we're all on, okay, fine, that's it, good. Here we go, the James Whale Radio Show. Welcome, final hour tonight, back, of course, at 8 tomorrow evening. I was nearly going to say tomorrow evening. When we should do it all over again, and a couple of guests on the show tomorrow night, but you'll have to join us to find out. Olympics. A lot of people have been talking about the Olympics. Next couple of weeks, you're going to hear and see nothing but the Olympics. And, of course, most of us are waiting to see whether there are any problems there or not. I think giving the Olympics to China was a pretty daft move, but there we are. It seems that our athletes, generally speaking, when I say generally speaking, when I say athletes, I mean all of the people competing, not just those people who just run around and jump over things. I always find that dull. Except in the Mirror today, there was pretty good pictures of them naked, some of them, which did make the whole thing more interesting. But a lot of us are going to worry or watch just to see whether or not they can manage with the pollution over there. Looking at with pollution today, the Sky News were doing a really interesting story about the amount of pollution and obviously the amount of control over what we see from China that the Chinese authorities are trying to make sure that the picture of China that comes out is the picture that they want people to see. I am not at all sure they're going to get away with that, but you never know. You just never know. So, any views on the Olympics? Give us a call, 01243 55 60 60. Do you think there's too much? Personally, I do not understand why we need more than one channel on the radio or the television covering the Olympics. I mean, it can't be that interesting. Are you an alcoholic? Do you think that would be fair to say?
No, why?
Because at 11 o'clock every week, every night I'm on, you pick up a can of beer.
Yes.
Do you drink a can of beer every night?
No.
Well, you certainly do when I'm around.
Yes, because the 11 till 12 hour, I kind of start to lag a bit, and I just find that a nice kind of weak beer.
It's not weak. Well, it is. It's like urine, that.
Yes, just,
yeah.
You know.
That's the yobs drink. Aren't you embarrassed to drink about what the lagerlouts drink?
No.
You're not?
No.
It's a common person. It's the cheapest lager you can buy, that.
I'm not a lager lout, so therefore I'm not embarrassed to drink it.
But why do you drink the cheapest one you can get?
Because I don't earn very much money.
No, that's true. I suppose that's right, yeah. Okay, I'll let you off for that. If the boss knew you were drinking in the studio, don't you think he'd be annoyed?
Well, I don't know. I never asked him.
Alcohol. I mean, most studios I work at, there's a notice on the door saying no alcohol.
I could understand if somebody was drinking 4 or 5 cans, but I think 1 can of weak lager.
Yeah, very weak in that case. But, you know, the thing is, one can leads to another. And you can't... If I said to you now, I don't want you to drink anymore, tip it down the sink, you wouldn't.
No, because you're not my dad.
Not your dad, no.
Old enough to be, but not.
Yeah. How do you know I'm not your dad? I knew your mother.
Mum? Is it true?
Good. Okay, right, let's go on to some serious stuff. What have we got here? Another phone call. What? Is Gertrude Lawrence coming in?
Hello?
What? What? What's he mumbling now?
It's Chris, apparently.
Who's Chris?
On the phone.
What? What do you... What, if you're going to come and talk...
I'll give him a lesson in call screening tomorrow.
Don't bother. There's no point. I'll just do it myself.
There you go, Phil. That game would be on it, it'd be... The lad said to me, I don't know what he said, it was a nice chap. That's the thing he said was, he says, I'll put you through in a minute. So, in a minute, I'll have a word with him. And we mentioned, I shouldn't have met that tie, I know that. Oh, the cross, the blood-stained cross, the hallowed cross I see.
Hello, Chris. Is that you?
Is that Mr. Whale?
Yes, Chris.
Good evening, Mr. Whale. I have been prompted to ring in this evening. Good evening. I've been listening. Very enjoyable show, as I say. Sorry to hear that Alex Jones, that punk, is not coming on tonight.
No, hopefully he'll be on next week. I'm pretty sure he will be.
Yeah. Slipped in because I've heard Mr. Jones call other people punks.
Really?
So I thought I'll call him a punk.
Yeah.
Yes, I feel rather than a chat, what I normally do is I normally ring up, speak to young Matt and Stu on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
But this is of a higher intellectual calibre. And what I would like to mention, you were talking about the Jehovah's Witnesses earlier, weren't you?
Yes.
Well, this is somewhat... I'm just going into the toilet. This is somewhat of a joke, if you don't mind. Would you like me to attempt telling a joke on internet radio?
No, phone him on Sunday. Thanks for your call. Right, okay, well, can we try and stop this sort of thing? I mean, it's funny every now and then, but quite frankly, Matt, it gets a bit wearing, doesn't it?
Well, he rang in to tell you a joke.
Yeah, well, I can't be bothered. No, I don't think there's any point in actually trying to labour the point with subhumans. Do you? I mean, really, you know, he should be in an institution, not speaking to us on the radio.
Well, isn't Birmingham an institution in itself?
No, I think there's some very nice parts of Birmingham. David Green's got interesting. Now, I hadn't thought about this, and I wish I had. He says, don't knock the Olympics because I can't wait for women's beach volleyball. And that is a very good point, actually, to be honest with you. I don't know whether you've seen women's beach volleyball, but very exciting it is as well. Robin Blackadder, our new sponsor, he is obviously with us tonight continually. He said, did you see this item in the Daily Mail about the plastic plods? It's guaranteed to make you apoplectic. Okay, well, it has. And I didn't really want to mention it, but you've done it, haven't you, Robin, really? I'm going to have to take a swig of the Blackadder single malt whiskey that you so kindly sent me. Blackadder single malt whiskey. A discerning drink for those of you who can afford the better things in life.
Can I look at it yet?
No. Ministers spend £2 million on spin TV documentaries to raise profile of Blunkett's bobbies. Police community support officers have been dubbed Blunkett's bobbies. They've been dubbed stupid from me. Now listen to this story, you'll enjoy this. Ministers will plunge into a damaging new spin row last night. It emerged that they've lavished £2 million. You know, we have hospitals in need of life-saving equipment. We have hospitals in this country in need of life-saving equipment. So these pillocks in Parliament have lavished £2 million of your money and my money. This is what they've wasted again on making a television documentary. And they've been conned, obviously, by whoever's made it and said that I could have made it for 30 grand. 2 million. The two most controversial broadcasts, both funded by the Home Office, both funded by you and me, the taxpayer. Forget the flipping Home Office. Raise the profiles of police community support officers and immigration staff. I travel regularly from here to France, all right? The only thing, when there are immigration officers there, and often there is nobody there, the only thing they're interested in are the passports of my dogs. Last time, they wanted to check the passports and got all stuffy about it and looked at them and thought that then whether they're okay, fine, okay, that's fine. I said, do you not want to see whether I've got the dogs or whether the dogs are the ones on the passport? And the bloke just went red. I said, you've checked the flipping passport. Do you not want to see whether the dogs are... Could have been any dogs. There's no picture on a dog passport of the dog. Could have been... No, didn't want to bother. Stupid pillocks. So I wouldn't have any faith in our immigration services because they don't know what they're doing, like the plastic policeman. Unless you know something I don't, and please get in touch. Anyway... both PCSOs who've been dubbed the plastic police by critics, the immigration officials who've come under fire in recent years, are in need of positive coverage. Because we don't give it to them, do we? No. Do you want to answer that phone, or are you going to sit there biting your fingernails? You've answered it. You're talking to them. No, you're not.
It's ready to go.
Oh, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
But if I don't know the name, how can I say who it is? You don't know the name. What is the point of you sitting in there answering the calls before I answer them if you don't ask the flipping name? Why does he want to work on radio?
You know?
I mean, what does he want to do on radio, or is he just hanging around because he fancies you? What is the answer to this question?
Well, I think fancying me's got a lot to do with it.
But you're not even attractive. Why would you fancy him?
Did we get the name of the caller?
You are useless. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but you are completely useless. Do you want to... Are you interested in working on the radio? Yeah. Well, wake up! For goodness sake, wake up! You know, he's going around like they're mumbling. This is the problem with the youth today. They can't communicate. It's about the only conversation you get from an 18-year-old nowadays. Like blithering idiots. I'm not here next week. I'm not coming in next week. No. I'm doing it from home where I'm not bloody doing it. Right, okay. Who is that person on the phone? Let's find out. Hello.
Yeah, hiya, James.
Who's that?
It's Simon from Blackpool.
Simon.
How are you?
I'm fine, Simon. It's nice to talk to a non-mental person. Well, I think.
Yeah, that's my first point, actually. You seem to get a lot of nutters calling up at the moment, don't
Well,
you?
I think we're fairly new, you see, I think, on the internet stuff, and I think they haven't... The lot of people who were here first feel it's their privilege, I suppose, to try and rule the roost, but they'll soon realise everybody will be online before long.
Yeah.
5 years' time,
I think you're probably right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's only, you know, we need the ordinary sensible people to come in and listen to their radio and watch their TV in this way, and that'll work.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, what can I do for you?
Nothing really.
Oh,
Just a couple of points I'd like to make.
Go on then.
Firstly, the McCanns.
Yep.
Well, not that I'm sort of aiming a comment directly at them or anything like that. I'm not condoning sort of leaving kiddies on their own and such, but I just can't believe in this day and age that, well, what with technology sort of racing forward and everything sort of getting smaller and, you know, and these days you can buy gadgets and gizmos that sort of do sort of everything. I just can't believe there's not an off-the-shelf kind of product, kind of like a... I don't mean sort of like a tagging thing that you might tag sort of prisoners with or something, but just some sort of bracelet that a kiddie could wear or a child could wear that...
Can I tell you what I think? And this might upset you, I don't know. I think I have my dogs chipped. And if I had young children now, I would have no problem if somebody said, why don't you get your kids chipped? And then if anybody abducted them, or if they got lost or anything else, you would know where they were straight away.
Well, it doesn't quite work that way, because if you get a dog chipped, it's only useful if the dog gets lost and gets found, whereas, when kitties go missing...
Yeah, but that's only, that the chip is just what is contained in the chip, so that you could have a chip put under the skin of your child, which has a homing beacon within it. You could, or anything at all. You could have that in your dog as well if you wanted to, I suppose. So it just depends what information you put on the chip. Am I right, Matt? Am I right in this?
Yes.
Thank you. Good. Because Matt does at least know about technical things. So I think that is probably the way to go. I wouldn't have any problem with having a child chipped if it meant that child was going to be kept safe.
Yeah. Your friend, your friend David Icke sometimes comes on. I'm sure he would love that little proposition, wouldn't he?
Well, no, I think... I could probably talk him into it, although, as long as it wasn't done by the bloody government...
Yeah.
Although
it's got to be optional, hasn't it? That's the thing.
Yeah. And you don't have to have it done, but I would have thought the same way that, if you have a mobile phone now, and if the phone is turned on, they can actually find out where you are.
They can do that, can't they?
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. That's a bloody good point you make.
No, but I was thinking more of these sort of plastic bracelets that are trendy and the way. More an optional thing than a surgical procedure.
Well, it's not a surgical procedure. It's just a little injection to put the chip under your skin, so it's dead easy to do. The problem with a strip, if somebody stole your child, then that would be the first thing to be ripped off, wouldn't it?
Yeah. No, well, this is what I was thinking. If just sort of moving away from your chip idea, if it was a bracelet, and perhaps you could have this linked to your mobile phone or something like that, and when it sort of reached a certain distance, it alerted you. And also, if somebody tried to remove the bracelet, if there was some sort of circuitry in it that when it was broken, because that's the first thing somebody would do, isn't it? They'd look to see if somebody was wearing one and they try and take it off. But if it was taken off, then that would probably, send some signal.
As long as we're thinking along those lines, and as long as something like that actually does happen, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
right.
I think so.
All right.
And the other thing was, James, sort of just moving away from that sort of thing. The fuel thing. I just think that sort of biofuels and sort of vegetable oil is really probably the future, really, because the oil-producing countries and the large sort of oil companies, if you like, they have us at their mercy, really. Whereas, it perfectly is feasible to run a diesel engine car, at least, from nut oil.
But listen, look, this oil thing is man-made, okay, by our government as well as other people. The politicians of the countries who actually are buying this have got themselves into the situation now where they're not bothered in trying to reduce the... If they wanted to go to the oil-producing countries, of which we are one, remember, because we produce it still ourselves here, and America, big producer of oil, as well as a big user. If we went to the countries who are producing it and said, look, you're ruining the economy of the world, you can't do this. They could have done that if they'd wanted to. I'll tell you what they're doing, shall I? Nobody's on the street demonstrating. Nobody's complaining that much. They are seeing how far they can push us, all right? We're paying £1.30 odd for a litre of diesel. And we're still doing it. Now, they're never, and this has all gone up in the last 6 months or so, terrifically, hasn't it?
Sure.
They're never going to take them back. I mean, if a garage reduced its petrol prices to 80p a litre, which I thought was extortionate anyway.
Oh, it was, yeah, at the time.
A year or so ago, we were all complaining. If somebody did it now, there'd be queues down the street to go and get your fuel from there.
Yeah.
So, I think this has been an exercise in seeing how far they can push the people of the country and how much money they can screw out of us. Because in the future, they will know, well, they're prepared to pay £1.30, £1.40, £1.50. I think they found the level now. I think if it went up to £1.60 tomorrow, I think people would start to complain. But they're not. We've done it to ourselves.
It's definitely the knock-on effect from the fuel charges. I mean, I think, like you say, when they do it a little bit at a time, it's the thin end of the wedge, and you don't notice it so much. But you know, it's just you can only go so far with it, surely, before people, you know, the effect on people's lives, because you know the fuel is the haulage companies, they're delivering food to the supermarkets, and it just everything seems to revolve around it. And you know, short of going back to the canal boat situation and horse and you know cart and something, it's going to take a radical sort of rethinking of the way we live our lives. And
well, it's up to the people of the country. If they're going to continue to allow the politicians to use them as lab rats, which is what they're doing, then we won't get anything better than this.
Sure.
All right, mate. Thanks for your call.
We'll live in hope. Thanks a lot, James.
Good to talk. Talk
Take
to you
it
later.
easy.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
The James Whale Radio Show. We're on until midnight tonight. Lads Mags. I notice you're mentioning in the chat room.
No. Oscar has mentioned.
Oscar. Oscar has mentioned that. I was going to bring that up, actually, and I was thinking we might try and get the minister concerned, the Tory minister, whose name is Grimble or Grumble or something, or I can't remember now. He's a rather pathetic guy who thinks that nuts and FHM, I suppose, all the other lads mags that are out there, he thinks they're contributing to men behaving badly.
Well, lads mags?
Yeah. It's a complete and utter rubbish. You know, just seeing a beautiful woman beautifully shaved. Beautifully.
Well, no, beautifully shaved is in there too.
Beautifully shaved is going to make, you know, we want to see people with commitment. Golly, we've always had these magazines. When I was a kid, it was the most popular magazine was Parade.
Right.
And then if you had more money, you went to Playboy.
Yeah.
But Parade was more earthy. All right. And then, of course, you had Playboy and you had Penthouse and Mayfair. But Parade was the first one I ever remember seeing.
I see.
I wonder if anybody else remembers Parade. Or the first time I saw a naked woman other than my mum was Health and Efficiency. And in the school playground, when I can remember, before I took the 11 plus, I must have been 9 or 10 at the time, around the bike sheds, the older guys had copies of Health and Efficiency. Anybody remember these? Call us. 01243 55 60 60 or email me studio@playradiouk.com. Just before we take the break, a little late, but I will take the break, can I just go on for this whole business which Robin Blackadder sent me? Minister spending £2 million on spinning these the 4 PCSOs dubbed plastic police by critics. Immigration officials come under fire recently need apparently a positive coverage. So you and I have very, very gratefully, apparently, or graciously, provided £2 million so that TV guys could make a couple of documentaries showing you how wonderful the immigration service is and PCSOs. £400,000 programme about immigration staff called Border Force has yet to be broadcast. But critics say the police show beat Life on the Street, which was screened on ITV1, shows PCSOs in a largely sympathetic light. Approval ratings for the officers rose drastically after the first series was shown 2 years ago. In total, £800,000 has been spent on the broadcast. Ministers are so pleased with the way it changed the public's perception that they've commissioned a third series to be broadcast next year. They're now not bothered about democratic policies, they're just bothered about propaganda. And we are allowing them to do it. I think a tax strike is necessary. I can't afford to pay the tax man anyway, but I think a tax strike is necessary. The programmes have been described as all but indistinguishable from regular TV documentaries. Ofcom, and I have no problem with Ofcom, I love them. Ofcom is now due to carry out an investigation into whether the series breached strict codes that force broadcasters to reveal whether any programme is subject to outside sponsorship. And if the government have paid for these programmes and that at the end of the programme there was no credit to the government, or people saying this was paid for by the government, which would suddenly make you think, well, they're just as stupid as we thought, then hopefully Ofcom will take action against them. The relationship between the sponsor and programme must be transparent, which is why I'm just going to tell you how great Blackadder single malt whiskey is. But of course, you have to be a really good person to enjoy the taste.
PlayTwoUK headlines.
Hollywood actor Morgan Freeman has been seriously hurt in a car crash. He's being treated at a hospital in Memphis after being airlifted from the scene in Mississippi. The prime suspect in the murders of a British honeymoon couple in Antigua is being questioned for a second time. Beach vendor Clarence James, who's also known as Cloud, is thought to have befriended Ben and Catherine Milani during their holiday. A retrial is to be held for 3 men accused of helping the July the 7th bombers. Wahid Ali, Sadeh Salim and Mohammed Shakil, who were all from Beeston in Leeds, are accused of checking out London tourist attractions for possible attacks. And a new era has begun in English cricket. Kevin Peterson's been appointed as captain of both the Test and one-day sides.
PlayTwoUK weather.
Hang on, where's the weather? I have to redo the weather. Who wrote the weather? Did you write the weather? Yeah, I just sent it. Yeah, you copied and pasted it, right, okay. Showers dying out this evening and tonight, leaving most places dry. Clear spells, however, locally heavy rain... with clear spells, however, locally heavy rain across Cornwall will move slowly northeastwards across southern parts of both England and Wales. Now, what you really want to know is what you're going to need for tomorrow, which is only half an hour away when you get up in the morning and when you head out to work. Humid and wet across Wales, central and southern England. Mainly dry with sunny intervals further north. Good day for you in north of the country. Although patchy rain will edge into Northern Ireland. Well, patchy rain is always edging into Northern Ireland. And northwestern England, around the lakes, will be a bit damp a little later. But humid and often wet across Wales, central and southern England. So you'll need your umbrella. You won't need a coat. But lovely, dry, sunny intervals further north. So there you go.
You're up to date on PlayTwoUK.
Do you know when I hit that before? It didn't quite
Imagine what it's like waiting. Just waiting. Waiting with your life on hold. Waiting for an organ transplant. This year, around 1,000 people in the UK could die waiting. Simply because there aren't enough donors. More of us need to join the NHS organ donor register, so please, don't wait. Join the register now. Call 0845 60 6400 or visit uktransplant.org.uk.
The James Whale Radio Show on PlayTwoUK with Blackadder Whiskies. Single malt made the traditional way. Visit PlayRadioUK.com and unlock the spirit of legend.
James Whale. Silence was never an option.
That Blackadder whiskey really hits the spot. Right, Skype call from Paul Arthur Harding. I don't think we've spoken to Paul Arthur Harding before, have we, Paul?
Good evening, James.
Oh, perhaps we have.
I've got whisper because my mum's in bed in the next room, and if she finds out I'm calling the radio station via Skype, she'll give me a good kicking and cancel all my pocket money, and then I won't be able to go out and buy any pornography or anything. So,
well, if she doesn't give you a jolly good kicking, I know somebody who will.
Can you?
Right, okay. I can't be asked, to be honest. Well, I can't be bothered. No. And he looked a cretin. Picture came up. He looked a cretin as well. Chris Firth emailed us and he said, James, the boy will never learn. That's you, by the way. The boy will never learn weak lager. He should always take your lead and go for quality. Do you understand? Are you listening? Are you? Are you?
Yes, Dad.
Good. Because, you know, you should... half a can of good quality lager.
What, like, special brew?
Oh, no. I get you. I'll bring you a nice Belgian lager, some lovely Belgian lager. I've got some in my fridge at the moment. Okay, the Olympics will be boring except for the beach volleyball. The black shirt looks very good and very slimming. Oh, my black shirt. You cheeky bugger. What do you mean looks very slimming? Seamus is back. He said, if there's a general election soon, I see the merit in your strategy of voting out the sitting MP. But the Conservatives have promised us a referendum on the Lisbon Treaty. Well, you don't believe in it. Listen, it won't work unless we vote them all out, shamers. All right? It just won't work, mate. You never mind what they promise you. They never keep their promises anyway. And they use... I'll tell you another thing I find really quite strange. They use the EU as an excuse. They use the EU as an excuse because you don't find the EU rules and regulations adhered to in other European countries the way they are over here. And funnily enough, although I'm not standing as a member of Parliament, I do say tongue-in-cheek, even for UKIP. Although I'm very friendly with UKIP's leader, Nigel Farage, I don't have those sort of views of Europe, I must admit. I am, though. I've been invited to go and speak at UKIP's conference in Bournemouth, which I'm going to do in September. Stir them up a bit. Give a little speech. I get a speechwriter first. That's the best way to do it, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, that's all you do at these things. You get someone to write your...
Not at all.
No?
Could you not write your own script?
Yeah, of course I could, but you have people to do it.
Why?
Well, that's how it's done.
No, surely you write your own, therefore it comes from the heart.
Nah, no politician does that anymore.
You're not a politician?
No, I'm not, but I'm going to play them at their own game.
You're an honest, straight to the point talk show host.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell them that leaving Europe isn't going to benefit us in any way, shape or form. We shouldn't be controlled by Europe the way we are. Absolutely right. But also, we should look at the benefits that having partners in Europe can provide, that we need a strong trading nation, which is close. Never mind going back to, we want to get our lamb from New Zealand and all that bollocks.
We would have a strong trading nation if we hadn't have got rid of all our trades.
Well, of course, we don't have anything here. All we are is a country of consumers.
Yeah.
And we need to consume. And to consume, we need more money. And how can we get more money when the bloody government's giving 2 million quid away to make propaganda movies about the useless PCSOs that are unnecessary? Have you ever seen a PCSO?
Yeah.
They walk as if they've got something stuck up their backside. Have you noticed that?
I was telling you about those fundamentalists at this Asian thing yesterday, right? And they were surrounded by the police, and I walked up and I asked him, what are they protesting about? And he just put his hand on my shoulder, started to slowly push me away, and went, don't think that's any of your business, do you?
Who said that? A copper?
The PCO.
The PCO? Did you tell him to off?
No, I went, oh, right, that's the right attitude, and walked off.
Oh, you should have. I didn't. I would never use language like that to a policeman, but they accused me of it couple of years ago. Did I tell you this story? I don't want. I'm repeating myself.
No.
I was driving to work. I was doing a radio show Sunday lunchtime, Sunday afternoon, and I was driving to work. It was on Remembrance Sunday, November the 11th, and it was a nice sunny day. I had the top down, sports car, radio playing.
Yeah.
Policeman walked out, put his hand up, and there's a couple of black cabs in front of me. He stopped. That was fine. You know, you thought there was going to be a procession coming along. 10 minutes went past, nothing happened. Then the cab driver in front got out and went and said, look, you know, we're busy, you're keeping us, blah, blah, and went through. And the copper was being a bit snotty about it. There was nobody there coming. And I'm stopped just by for a moment. I said, what the hell are you doing? I said, there's nothing here. What are you stopping the traffic for? And he was, and before he could, I just drove off because I was going to work. And didn't think any more about it until my wife called me about 2 hours later, hysterically. What have you been doing? What have you done now? I said, what do you mean? She said, there are 6 policemen and 3 cars. They've surrounded the house.
What?
Living in the cul-de-sac. That was clever. They sent one round the back, you know, where the garages were. And then knocked on the door, said, we're looking for James Well. And she said, well, he's not here. Can we come in? Quite rightly, my wife said, no.
Yeah.
Well, other people may hear what we have to say. She said, I couldn't care less. What do you want? Well, we want to talk to Mr. Whale in relationship to using abusive language to one of our coppers, to one of them. And she said, I suggest you go to where I was working. She said, you'll find him there. Slammed the door in their face, quite rightly. 6 coppers turned up, right, to my house to try and terrorise my wife. I actually made a complaint. If you were to ring the police and tell them you were being attacked, to tell them you were being burgled, to tell them you'd had your car stolen, they wouldn't show the slightest bit of interest. 6 could turn up because one of theirs, said that James Worley was rude to me. Well, he probably didn't even realise. Just got my number plate. But then
that's what he did. Got your number plate, and then was annoyed that you didn't follow his authority.
Yeah, exactly. And then they thought we'll pop round and see what sort of house he's got.
A friend of mine spent 6 months in prison for owning a BB gun.
A what?
A BB gun, little plastic pellet gun. Tiny little plastic...
A BB gun, yeah. My kids, somebody I know, got those.
A friend of mine spent 6 months in prison, had...
Don't be silly.
Had riot vans, big searchlights, police dogs all around his house.
6 months in prison? There are clubs where you go and shoot these things. They have little war games against each other. Why was he in prison for 6 months?
Because they thought that because he had a BB gun, it was a replica gun, and therefore used for malice.
And was it?
No.
But I don't understand how you can get 6 months for that. I'm sorry.
6 months having a BB... Because somebody noticed the BB gun in his car, basically, and said, there's a man with a gun.
Have you seen in the boot of my car what I have in my car?
Yes.
I suggest the police stop me on the way home tonight, and I won't be in a very friendly mood.
We have Paul Harding on Skype. I can't remember if we had him a minute ago.
Yeah, we did.
Wasn't that Art?
He's a pilot. Paul Pillock Harding, I think his name was.
I've got a dirty...
See what I mean? Why even bother with them?
I know who Paul Harding is.
Who is he?
He's somebody that phones up other talk shows and says the same thing. He's going to get blocked.
Is he? Can you block him?
Yeah, block.
Yeah. Why don't we just find out where he is? I got into a lot of trouble once for teasing somebody like this. I'm sending people around to see you. And they complained.
Yeah, he said that. He said that the other week.
Yeah. Do you know where does he live?
I'm going to find out.
Let's put his address out over the air.
Yes, let's do that.
Oh, that whiskey's great. That whiskey's fantastic. Who's the dude had... What's that? A tattoo on there?
That is an Aerosmith logo. The Dude Abides. That's from a film.
Is it?
The Big Lebowski. Have you not seen that?
No, I haven't seen it. That one must have missed me.
That's a very good film.
Is it a good film?
It's very dry humour.
All right. It's time for me to pay the bills again, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Right, listen, got 20 minutes to go. I've got another call coming in there. Gertrude, answer the call. Also, get some more emails on, just to finish off the last part of the programme. You can email me now, live on the show tonight, studio@playradiouk.com, or you can phone me at 01243556060. Is that Paul Pillock on again? Yeah, I think he is. We'll take a break.
Here at Play Radio UK, we're dedicated to providing you with a fully interactive website and music service. Choose from 11 stations playing all kinds of music 24 hours a day. While away the hours with loads of games in the playground. Interact with other users and find answers to all your technical problems in the forums. Find out who's on when, what we're up to and what we look like. Although some of us are more photogenic than others. PlayRadioUK.com. Internet radio, your way. The James Whale Radio Show on Play2UK with Blackadder Whiskies. Mouth-watering malt straight to your door. Visit PlayRadioUK.com and set your taste buds free.
James Wales. If opinions count, this man must be a mathematical genius.
Okay, do you remember the sensational Alex Harvey band?
No.
No, I do. Just miss him. I was going to bring my friend Jim Diamond down, wasn't I?
You were. We haven't heard from him yet.
Yeah, I have. I talked to him today.
Well, we haven't seen him yet.
No, I might do. Right, listen, Steve in Rotherham. Hello, Stevie.
All right, Money. I was just talking about that, with these 6 policemen coming to your house. I think that's shocking, really. My mate the other day, he got his bike nicked from his garage. He couldn't get one police officer to turn up for nearly 2 days. I mean, I know it's not a big thing, but it's shocking, isn't it, really?
Well, it is a big thing if it's your bike, isn't it? I mean, flipping heck, if it's your only bike, it's a pretty annoying thing.
Yeah, I know. I mean, all right, it's not a crime, like a woman being attacked or something, but did they actually send 6 policemen to your house?
They sent 3 cars. Each car had 2 police in, They didn't get into the house because my wife wouldn't allow them in.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's teaching them a lesson, though, isn't it? I think you know what. You know why they sent all them coppers, don't you?
Well, I think they were just...
Because you've got a dirty...
It's Paul Harding got on again. Why did you let him get on? Because he's on Skype too, isn't he?
Not anymore.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right. I knew it was him. I was just playing him along. Can we not... Is there not a way we could sort of... I don't like to be too nasty, but is there not a way we can remove the phone from his home? And his... Can we not do something like that? Can we not, you know... It's nice to know he's been there all night, I suppose. Oh, dear. If we were to get an intelligent phone operator, like most radios, you know, rather than your girlfriend in there, we could do it...
Well, I've got to say, this guy's new to the show, isn't he, calling in and stuff, and I believe new to Playradio as well, so we don't actually recognise his voice yet.
Oh, I see.
The first couple of times, so you have to give us a chance.
All right, I'll let you off for that, but not often.
There's two of them that do it. A guy called Rob Burnett and a guy called Paul Harding.
Could be the same person.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
James Well Radio Show, hello. Yeah. If that is caller...
Did you answer that?
I answered that.
That's your fault.
Yeah, that was my fault. I was just testing the system. But, you know, it's a full moon at the moment, and that's always a problem when you take phone calls on a radio show. It is a full moon. Yeah. I tell you what, I'm going to play a record. If that's all right with you.
Yeah, did we pay the bills?
Did we pay the bills? I think we did. Yeah, we did.
We just did, didn't we?
We did, yeah,
what
we did.
What record are you going to play, James?
No, I'm going to play that one, and then I'll just press it on hotkey 3.
Which one? That one?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. It's good, isn't it?
I love Eddie Grant.
I interviewed Eddie Grant about a year ago, and he is really cool. He's a great guy. I want you to sing along at home. Eddie Grant, Electric Avenue, and that man can do no wrong. He's coming back and touring this country later this year. I would like to see him. I saw him years ago, but I'd like to see him again. Do you know who, first time I've heard reggae, do you know what it was?
Was it, that mouse guy?
No, he's good though, isn't he? You enjoyed him, must you? Mouse Anthony, no, it was Desmond Dekker.
Oh,
the
that's
Aces,
right.
Desmond Dekker and the Israelites. The first reggae song I ever heard, and I really got hooked on reggae then. I don't know, somebody called me and said that Desmond Dekker had died. I don't know whether he did or not, but you have some emails there I can have. We've got no emails.
It should slow down when we got all the
I
have a dirty.
Oh, no, I can't believe that.
We've only got 10 minutes left, and we're going to end the song on a 4-minute, end the show on a 4-minute song anyway. So.
Are we? Why?
Well, because you wanted God Save the Queen to end the show on. So
yeah, but by the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
You got that by the Sex Pistols. Because I've had a lot of people say, back in the 80s, I used to finish my radio show with the Sex Pistols, God Save the Queen, which got me a lot of stick because people thought I was taking the piss out of the royal family. Which I probably at the time I was. I am, though, I have to say I have changed. I'm now a huge fan of the royal family. I prefer the royal family to the politicians, and I actually think, what is it, 60p a week or something like that? For the whole lot. I think that's great value. I think that we get enormously good value from the royal family. We get all of them. You know, even the one who rides horses but isn't at the Olympics, we get them all for 60, 70p a week, and I think that's pretty good value. Right, so I will be back tomorrow. I will be here tomorrow. I've said I'll be here tomorrow. I'm going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to be here tomorrow doing the show from midnight, from 8 until midnight. Jason Smith emailed me. I should have read this earlier. I think thought would share my plan. Why should we pay so much tax when you are in a situation of poverty? I have a friend who worked for a good 2 years, solid, 6 days plus, helped his mother on weekends, and ended up without a job. In part, 40% his own fault, 10% because of ridiculous interview tests. When he can do the job, and 50% made a foolish error of judgment. But it still would have happened via redundancy. I really don't understand this very long. In my experience also, the government never wants to know. Yet we've all paid our tax contributions for years. I got a nice letter informing me I'm taxed after £105 a week. And if by some miracle in this country I earned £36,000 in a year, that would be at 40%. Yeah, well, Jason, don't go on and on about tax, please. We've all got to pay it, mate. I mean, the fact about tax, I think about tax in this country is the amount of waste. The amount of waste. Right, here's this one you want me to read?
Yeah.
Okay. This is from Derek. Okay. A great website, James, which tells you where to buy the cheapest fuel at the cheapest stations within 10 miles of your postcode. Has filling stations, comparisons, and maps and how to get there. It will also email you with regular updates. Dell in Edinburgh. Yeah, but the petrol price... You know, this is a bit of a fallacy. Mrs. Whale drives all over the place for the cheapest for her car.
But that's wasting petrol, so you've got to pay more.
But quite often, when, you know, the amount of savings you suddenly say, oh, it's 2p a litre cheaper there, you fill up the car, the whole saving is about 50p.
Yeah. And
so
that saving's gone because you've driven an extra 3 miles.
And I'd like to know how oil companies can deal in 0.9 of a p, when 1p... I know this is a silly discussion, we have it from time to time. When 1p is the lowest legal tender, how come petrol is priced in less than a p?
Well, can they do it because they work it on international conversion rates? So
I've no idea.
1 cent is less than 1 penny in conversion.
No, I don't think so.
No?
No. How can
the pound is stronger than the dollar, so the penny must be stronger than the
but how
cent.
can you have 90... No, I don't.
Which means the cents is a lesser value to the penny, which means it's a point something of a penny.
But, you know, when you fill your car up, it doesn't stop at 99.9p, does it? Or 9.9?
No.
So so the price is different to what's on the pump. Now that's illegal.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Yeah, I suppose.
But of course, oil companies do what they like.
Yeah.
Why are we all sitting here doing nothing? Why are we not complaining in some way? I don't understand it. I mean, even when we complain, you know. What's that? Who are you talking to there?
No one knows.
Oh, okay,
They're
all
talking to themselves.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah,
right.
no, I'm not really talking to them.
Are you not?
No.
You lying little head.
I'm not lying.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just round up tomorrow. Hopefully, Richard Lawrence of the Theorist Society. We might get Eric Pickles on to talk about this on-the-spot fines if you and I do not put our bins out and close the lids properly. We are likely to get fined for that. A couple of other suggestions for guests, and of course, if you want to if you want to email me any ideas for guests, then james.whale@playradiouk.com is the way to email me after the show is finished. james.whale@playradiouk.com, and those will find me, and we will discuss those later on today. So I think that's it, really, except for me to thank Tweedledum and Tweedledee, the two of them sitting here, who are now going out on the town, I believe, to a well-known club with boarded-up windows just down the road.
Where they burn poppers in small incense trays throughout the room.
That's exactly where you're going. And I'm going to get in the car and go home. Hopefully I will avoid the fuzz. I don't like calling them the filth. I think that's unfair. But, you know...
the way they behave sometimes.
Yeah, well, maybe they could actually spend more time chasing criminals rather than harassing me. I should be driving at whatever the speed limit happens to be, and I should be driving in, hopefully, a very safe and sedentary way. So until tomorrow, keep the faith, tell your friends, playradiouk.com, that's where you can find us. Check out my website if you haven't been there, jameswhaleradio.com. All sorts of things you can look at in there, including one of my new sponsors, loorolls.com.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I've been talking, apparently, it for a long time, so might as well have Lou Rolls on the show. And thanks to our new sponsors right here, Black Adder. Okay, fantastic. Black Adder single Speyside malt Scotch whiskey. And if you can afford it, good, but you probably can't. These are the Sex Pistols. Oh, I've got to put it on here, haven't I? Do it, hang on. These are the Sex Pistols. And I just love this. I just love this. And I don't think anybody should be embarrassed about it, but here it is. I'll see you tomorrow night. God save the Queen!